And the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
Happy Good Friday, Eric.
I've always thought this, but I guess yes. Happy Good Friday.
Yeah.
Isn't that redundant? Just say Good Friday.
Good Friday
well,
to
yeah,
you.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Like good morrow.
Yes, Good Friday. Happy Easter weekend. You know, we're here alone. Basically, we're the only people in the damn building.
Everybody else got let go early.
It's us and security. And Kayachio and a few people in the news. So that's it.
We're the essential employees.
That's what I like to think. Or, how come we didn't get today off?
How about we're just suckers.
Or, hey, when the boss is away and everyone else is away, maybe the mice will play.
Ooh.
So
we'll get away with so much today.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to push the line.
I mean, they went home early. They're probably not listening, right?
yeah, they don't know.
All those bosses, they're all so busy. I mean, they get a half day. They're going to go home and spend time with their family and friends and their children and get to know them again and say things like, what was your name again? And, you know,
Leroy?
Yeah, that's right. I knew that. I named you. It was a few years ago. I've been very, very busy. You got to understand, radio is a very stressful job these days.
Are you ready for my alternative tale of the passion?
There you go.
I'm going to ad-lib the whole thing.
Okay, well, listen, this is what you're known for.
And then we'll never be back.
It might be possible that you might want to do that on your own podcast.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'm just saying, maybe test it out there
Next year.
and then research it.
Okay.
You know, and then we'll see how it is here. We don't do anything on this show without it being completely researched and scripted. So
Those poor people, they are literally tied to chairs at that Holiday Inn, too, that get researched. They are
Yeah.
tied to the
I
chairs.
know.
And they can't leave until they say yes or no.
I don't even know how that. I remember when I first got into radio, they would do these like research things at Holiday Inn. I'm talking like 1989, 90. And I don't know what it's like now, but they used to get these people in like a room at a Holiday Inn, and they would have dials in front of them, and then we would be in another room. And like, so they would make it so it's like the demos. So you have female between this age and that age, and male between this age and that age. And you know, back then we were stupid enough to think that was all we had. So it was just that. But and the ages, and they'd have little lines. You know, like a blue line would be one demo, and a pink line would be another demo, a green line another demo, and then they would play like bits from our radio show. But they only play like 30 seconds or something. You know, maybe a minute. And then you just sit there in the other room and you just watch the lines go down and go, oh, I guess I thought it was a pretty good bit, you know. So, you just watch your stuff being killed right in front of you.
No.
Exactly. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, could I just throw something in here? It's 8:00 at night at a Holiday Inn. It's kind of different than brushing your teeth and listening to the radio at 6:30 in the morning, isn't it? I never really
Or
quite,
in your car.
or in your car, or what you're doing. It's like you've already had dinner. You fed these people. Yeah, they got like they're
Winding down.
They're winding
It's
down.
an
They're
inaccurate sample size.
And then my favorite thing about radio research is that the first station I ever worked at. I've never really been into, you know me, I'm not a big, modern pop Christmas music on the radio. This was a top 40 station that I was at. But I started to notice one year, it was like, because usually if you're going to do that, you're going to start it like somewhere in late November, early December, something like that. And I went up to the program director. I said, I'm not hearing any of that sort of popular Christmas music this year. I said, what's the deal? We tested that. Didn't do very well. I said, I said, when did you test it? August. Well,
He's like,
okay.
what?
Okay.
Yeah, weird that it didn't test well in August.
Are you telling me people didn't want to hear whatever? Grandma got run over by a radio.
Let it snow, let it snow.
I think that was we would have been doing more like novelty stuff. Like,
At the time,
Grandma.
Mariah Carey would have been new then.
I don't think Mariah Carey was out then.
Oh,
when
wow.
did she put that out?
Boy,
Like mid-90s, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
91 maybe, or 92.
Maybe she was one of them. Maybe she brought it back. Maybe she was able to eclipse the Holiday Inn research. I imagine everything's done online now, right?
I'm sure.
94.
94.
94. Yeah, she wasn't around at that point for me. What was Mariah Carey's big break? What was her big song? I don't even know.
Well, when she first started, she wasn't like sexy Mariah Carey like
Right.
she ended up being.
She was
And, like,
poppy.
hip hop. Yeah, it was. No, it was like R&B singing a little bit.
Oh, well, I'll never know because I can't imagine. listening.
Vision of Love in 1990.
Yeah.
I guarantee
It was
you.
like
Off the
a
charts.
Celine Dion type of
I
thing.
guarantee you we played it at WPXY. That would guarantee you. It's somewhere in my head. Whatever happened to Taylor Dane? We'll get to that another time.
Since you've got all those records you're collecting now, maybe
Taylor Dane.
Do you remember?
Of course I
When I
do.
first got into radio,
Tell it to her heart.
that song
Oh,
was
yeah.
huge, and I was on a top 40 radio station, and I remember her being very like she was older at
Yeah.
that time, and I remember having I think like a New York City kind of
Is
attitude.
this feeling love or just a
She was
game?
Wow,
very
that's
she was,
her?
She was very brash and cool in interviews. Like she would just tell you to go to hell kind of thing. And I liked her personality, but I guess it was kind of there and gone.
Hey,
right?
she gets remixed all the time in songs. I'll
Do
give it to
they
her.
make money from that?
I'm assuming she gets some royalties for it. She gets remixed a lot.
She and Rick Astley got popular at the same time, and I remember it because I was a senior in high school, and the pop music just kept getting worse.
That was a different time. Speaking of New York City, by the way, Autumn, you were absolutely, totally, 100% wrong yesterday.
Oh, no.
I didn't know how it was gonna go.
Timothy Chalamet was born in New York City. His father
Wait,
is.
I never said that.
You did. You
Jared
ins-
said it.
He's
Huh?
a dual citizen, is what I said.
Oh
No, you said no. He was born in France.
All right, listen. If we had tape, we'd dig up the tape. As it were,
Yeah,
we'll
I
have to
said
go-
he was a dual-
we didn't record
we'll
it.
have to
right?
reassemble the zeros and ones. But I believe that
Get
he
the reel
said
to reel out.
I believe that he said that he's a dual citizen, and you said that he was born in France. That's what I believe.
Nor, I
And what's
said he
going
was
on with his
French.
glasses? What's going on with your glasses? What was
I'm not wearing eye makeup.
He's got
so
like a
it's to
cat
distract you.
glasses kind of thing going on. It's a style that's somewhat popular right now. I've seen
Oh.
it on the faces of other ladies.
These are ones that I had a long time ago, and then I lost them,
Uh-huh.
and then I reordered them recently.
Oh, well, very good.
It's
What
just
a-
because I'm not wearing eye makeup. So
Why
it's to
don't you?
distract
Because you're just phoning it in today. Is that it? Going into a holiday weekend and you're just not. What's wrong? You couldn't put your face on for the show.
I just didn't put any makeup on today, and I think
Sure,
that that's totally fine.
Put it on.
Is your face still in a jar by the door?
Yes.
Okay. Well, who are you waiting for? Just put your damn face on.
Autumn, by the way, your comment earlier this week saying that you like guys with a little thicker milkshake, you're getting a lot of open micers that are very
She's-
into that idea.
She's taken.
I know, but she's getting
She's
a lot
a
of open micers.
taken
Just tell her
woman.
Ugh. So
Her
taken.
When
her
they get
boyfriend
repetitive,
Derek. Her boyfriend Derek
No.
will fight you.
Dale.
In a,
It's Dale.
Is it Dale?
Yeah.
Is it
No,
Dale?
it's not
Dale.
Dale.
I'm sorry, Dennis. Her boyfriend Dennis will fight you in a parking lot. And,
He's a veteran. Don't disrespect
Don't
him. He
disres-
fought- You know what you should be saying is thank you.
thank you, Dale.
No, it's
I-
not Dale. It's Derek.
Oh, that's right. It's Derek. All right. So it's a big, beautiful day here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Is it gorgeous there? Because it is
beautiful.
gorgeous here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful
hate that we're
spring
inside.
day. Well, you want to go outside? Let's go outside.
We can
All
broadcast
right, yeah.
outside.
Can we do the
You
show
know-
like
yeah.
a teacher when we do class outside?
Yeah, we'll go under a tree. Yeah, people are going to like that for 4 hours, right? Huh?
My neighbors will come say hi.
We can have
What are
them
you
as
doing,
guests.
Autumn? How are you?
Oh, hey. Hi,
George?
name that I learned once and now I don't remember it. And I can't ask you because we've lived next to each other for years and I don't remember your name.
Oh, you're getting like me. I see people all the time. One time I was
Yeah.
busted by another radio personality at a different station on the same campus, and we were in the break room and talking. And I'd known this person for 4 or 5 years. As an acquaintance, colleague. And at one point, she turned around to me and said, "You don't know my name, do you?"
Oh.
Is that Delilah?
No, I said.
Delilah.
I said, if you're going to hold that against me, there's no shot that we can be friends because I don't remember anybody's name. Sometimes I forget mine.
Speaking of busted, I do have the tail end of yesterday's show.
Oh, yes. Okay. Great. Let's hear it.
Uh-oh, I feel scared.
And I know he's better looking than me, but he's got that
Got a
seems
rat
to-
face.
trying to pull off like a Parisian kind of look. isn't
Yeah.
he?
Well, he
he
is
is French. He's a
Oh,
dual citizen.
Chalamet. There it is.
Yeah, he's dual citizen.
It's
Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
Timothée.
it was just his lineage. I
Tay
didn't-
and the Wind.
He was born here, though, wasn't he?
I think he was born in France. I don't.
Hey!
He's a dual citizen.
I said I
Okay,
think.
well, I didn't
I
realize
think.
that. I don't care.
I did not
That's-
say
I'm
declaratively.
not-
I said I think. That's
Jared,
not busted.
Why can't you
Think.
just own it?
His
You know
middle
what?
name is
Listen,
Caveat.
Think is different than declaring. I didn't say
Wait.
he is. I said I think.
Yes,
And I
but it
was-
wasn't. But it wasn't me that said anything about him being born in France.
Oh, that's all
I
that
was-
matters to Autumn.
and
Is
I
that
was-
she's cleared.
And I was right about him being a dual citizen. So
Well,
I am
okay,
half
dual
right.
citizen. I can be a dual citizen anywhere. I can go give $1 million to Liechtenstein and be a dual citizen. I have nothing to do with them. You were the one that led us to believe that he was French.
Think and
Well,
declaring
he
are
is
two different
French,
things.
but
He
He's-
is.
I'm German. If you could just go by my last name.
His
I've never
father,
been to Germany. I don't know anybody in Germany.
his
But my
father,
you know,
Marc Chalamet, is French.
the father.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough about this kid. You know what? I really feel like he just needed a boost in his career. So I wanted,
Yeah, we
I thought,
gave him
I
the-
thought maybe we could just push him up to where he could be noticed by
He's
the public.
replacing me next week. so-
Yes, Timothy on the board, behind the glass.
Timothy Chalamet.
he's so weak and small.
I can't push the button. I'm too skinny. All right, so I was going to say on this beautiful day in Atlanta, Georgia, that are you excited tonight, Jared, for our Hawks
I'll be honest. I'm nervous.
up against the Miami Heat in the second play-in?
They've got the Miami Heat have got Eric Spoelstra as their coach. He's a great coach. He
And
knows
he's
how
one
to
of
win.
those. Was one of those Erics with a K too.
I think he is the Eric with a K, and he knows how to. He really knows how to match up against Trey Young. He's
I
done
was
it a couple
excited for what
times.
you were gonna say there. He's really good.
I think he's French too.
Well, he's a dual citizen, Miami
Well,
and
yeah,
Atlanta.
everybody knows
Atlanta.
that.
And I really hope that we take care of business. I really hope that State Farm is loud for our Hawks, but I've got my doubts.
You're upset. You're worried.
I'm worried.
Yeah. Will this be Trey's last? If they lose, do you think this is Trey's last?
I will say declaratively, if we lose this game, Trey Young will not be a Hawk next year.
Oh, did you see that? Now that was
Declaratively.
declarative. Now that one,
Mark
he can't-
it down.
He can't back off from that one.
That's right, I
That's
cannot.
real. That's that counts.
That's how you know. When you
That's-
say declaratively or you say things, then they are etched in stone there.
Oh, is that all of a sudden you hear the future father? That's what Jared's going to be like with his kids. When I say declarative, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
I can't wait till you have kids. He comes in here and is just frazzled. That's going to be
Oh, I
fantastic.
know. It's going to be wild.
It's gonna be
Here's your cut
fantastic.
sheet, Eric. Yeah, that's all right.
I'm so tired.
Or that the first time he realizes after so much maneuvering and so much shuffling, I'm not going to be able to go to any festivals this year.
Oh, I know. It's going to be brutal.
I want to. I
Or you
just-
have tickets to a festival
Yeah.
and you're all ready to go, and then your kid gets sick.
The thing that I'm
Like-
witnessing now is with a lot of my siblings having kids now, I'll oftentimes either her parents or my parents try to put us on their schedules. And I'm like, no. We are proudly kidless right now.
Yeah.
So
You're like Aaron Rodgers.
You guys have
self-centered, no children.
it's not that.
Go ahead.
And so we're like, no. You guys can have the kid schedule. We're gonna get there eventually, but we're gonna do our thing until the kids start coming in a couple
you
years.
are a pain in the butt.
I was watching some coverage of Aaron Rodgers, who went on Pat McAfee's show, because it's all this drama. Am I going to retire? Am I going to go to the Steelers?
He is a drama queen.
And I mean, it was just more and more. I saw like 4 or 5 different clips of this guy who's 41, is worth probably $50 million. More, I don't know. He's probably worth $300 million. And I'm halfway through watching this summation of his appearance. And he's blaming New York, and at one point he says, "I flew all the way across the country on my own dime, and within 2 minutes they told me that they didn't want me anymore." It's like,
Undermining.
hold on, on your own dime. Like, aren't you worth like $950 trillion?
Yeah, but those
Is
are
that
expensive too.
on your own dime? But as I'm watching this thing, I was just kind of scratching my head, and then it just sort of came to me what the problem is with Aaron Rodgers. He has no children. He's 41 years old. He has no children. He's never had to think about others. He's never had
That's a good point.
to, in action, be thinking about others. And because he's bringing up stuff that is in everybody's life, like it's special. Like, hey, I've got some stuff going on in my personal life that it's taken me. It's like, how many people are in the NFL? I mean, a lot. You think all of them have everything nailed down in their personal life? There's no trouble. Nobody's sick. Nobody. And seeing him kind of do that, he's kind of like a petulant teenager. And I started to remember, this is not a sports show, but I started to remember that, remember when he was drafted, he fell to the Green Bay Packers.
He did.
Was he like in the 20s?
Yeah,
Look
I
at
think he
where
got drafted 26th.
And everybody knew he was a really good quarterback. So it was in the interview process that he turned a bunch of teams off. And he actually fell to the Green Bay Packers. And then he became, by stats, maybe the greatest quarterback of all time. And now on this other side, we're starting to see, maybe this is the exact person that they saw before the draft. Like this guy.
People were saying he was a top 10 pick, and then he fell way down.
I think it was like 26 or.
It says projected top 5, but he went to 24th.
Yeah, and Green Bay just got lucky. They were already a decent team.
Yeah, he was drafted when Favre was still there,
He
right?
sat behind Favre for 3 years.
And apparently, Favre was a jerk to him, would not train him, would not help him.
It says here that the 49ers were expected to take him, but took Alex Smith over him.
Well, Alex Smith wasn't. He got hurt, but he was a pretty good quarterback. But Aaron Rodgers might be the greatest of all time if you look in just certain numbers. There's also a lot of criticism of him. I think there's no other quarterback that has a better touchdown to interception ratio, but he only has one Super Bowl.
Right.
And a lot of people think that he was always protecting his stats, so he would never take a chance. And if he thought that there was even a chance that a ball would get intercepted, he would hold on to it. Whereas, the other quarterbacks.
Brett Favre did not care. He was
slinging it in there. Slinging it all over there. And also,
I can hit this.
Also like Mahomes and, Allen, Lamar Jackson, you got to take chances. So there's some criticism of him that he's got 4 MVPs. I mean, that's unbelievable. But he would have more Super Bowls. I mean, I think he was only in one. He won the one he was in. They only made it to one. So, I think that his problem, I'm good on diagnoses the last couple of days. Aaron Rodgers, I've figured him out. His problem, childless. Solipsism.
Yes, bringing it back.
And also on that, I had an epiphany about, we're always saying, what is Trump's governing principle? Like, what is it what is the thing he's going for? And I figured out what Trump's governing principle is: belligerence. That seems to be what it is. Just keep on going, no matter what. And I was thinking about Trump, not to get too political on this holiday, but I was thinking about Trump and this guy that's in El Salvador, and they won't bring him back, and this
Out
court,
of my hand.
this court and that court, every court's trying to say that, and he's basically ignoring the courts or whatever. But for the first time, I started to think, maybe the Democrats are right about something. When you see all of this pushing back against the courts and precedents and protocols, maybe he will try to run for another term. Like we thought, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's so obvious. There's an amendment. It's obvious.
Who's going to stop him?
But I think that if he tries, I think the American people will stop him. But this is just about would he actually entertain the idea in reality? And before he was elected, I laughed at that. Like, that's ridiculous. But seeing the way that rules and judgments and orders and the way that those kind of things are seen, it's like maybe he will. Hey, and why not? Why would we want to go? Why would we want to go into the next election and just have a good old fashioned normal? Don't we all want our hair to stay on fire for the foreseeable future?
We need 8 more years of chaos.
That's what I do. Who would want things to calm down for one single day of our lives?
It's healthy for us, Eric.
It
It's healthy
certainly
for
is.
us to make sure that we stay active, stay engaged with what's going on.
Exactly. Maybe we'll do a little more Trump thumbs up, thumbs down later on. I thought that went well yesterday.
Absolutely, and I like your word belligerence to describe that. That's a good way to describe
It's just
this.
belligerence.
It really is. I mean,
Because he wanted to fire somebody over that whole group chat thing on the Houthi deal, and he didn't, even though he wants to fire the guy, but he didn't fire him because he didn't want to give the media a win. So there's belligerence. That's your governing philosophy. What's the governing philosophy? In one word, it's belligerence. And also, just to stay on the theme of Easter weekend, Jared Yamamoto, he, of course, the ambassador of the ATL, the head cheerleader of the Atlanta metro
ATL.
area, had to, is it Wallet Hub?
Oh, it is Wallet Hub.
And you guys will love this because the worst wordplay in the world is in the headline.
Yay.
Anybody want to guess what it is? It's Wallet Hub. So, what do you? If they're describing your city as a good city, what do you think, George?
Excellent.
There you go. Oh, Tim and Autumn are on board. All of a
For
sudden, I
Easter?
believe those ears perked up.
That really cracked me up.
Yeah. You know what? Look, it's a holiday. I'll let you kids play
A
free
little
range.
soft-boiled as far as I'm concerned.
Colors of the day.
Free range. You made a little joke, Eric.
I know. Hey, look. What do you think? I was.
Hey.
I can do this. I just don't like it.
You can pull the rabbit out of the hat sometimes.
There's lots of things I can do that I don't like. One of them is good radio. I could if I wanted to. I could show up here every day and just be unbelievably great.
But why bother?
Why bother? I'm already contracted for 3 years.
We did get
What are
ranked.
they going to do? Just get rid of me? Oh, yeah. That has happened like 17 times in my career.
We did rank 5th overall, by the way, for best Easter celebration. So
All right, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Best East. First of all, you got the mayor of that one town that
South Fulton.
They have like they have 2 different egg hunts, Easter egg
You
hunts.
hear the latest on him too?
No, I haven't.
Because
Why
of-
isn't he more famous? How come like late night shows don't make fun of this guy or whatever? I guess I just haven't seen the story.
Mayor Kamau, I believe is his name, and
Is he still locked out of his office?
so he's allowed to get back in his office. He finally has privileges to get back in the building, but they cut some of the funding that he's allowed to use. And the latest thing is, I believe I saw it on WSB TV earlier this week, that he can't afford the apartment he's living in now. And it's like, what in the hell is he doing
But
with
I
all this
tell you
money?
what, that's validity, that's stature, that's Mount Rushmore stuff. I think this is legendary political leadership.
And
is what I
remember,
think.
in 2 years ago, he got in trouble for having a mayor's Easter egg hunt when the city council already had the
Yeah.
South Fulton
Because
Easter egg hunt.
they already didn't like each other.
So they're like, oh,
Was
yeah,
there
we're
ever
gonna
a time they did like each other?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
Why can't he do his own? I don't get it.
well, because it's going to cost. Did he pay for it himself, or did the city have to?
Oh, he went to the ATM, bought all the eggs.
Oh, he
boiled
did.
them.
Look, if he paid maybe that's why he's broke. If he paid for it,
Eggs are expensive.
if he paid for that himself, then okay. But if he dipped into the city funds because he was mad and he wanted to have a separate.
Hey, use the P card. The P card. That's
P card?
Yeah, that's the one that has the city
card?
funds on it.
Hey, look, man, that's I'm 60 years old. That means a whole different thing.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 4 windows, get 4 free, plus no interest for 2 years.
Hey, it's Belinda, and April showers brought me mosquitoes. And thankfully, Arrow Exterminators came to the rescue with their environmentally friendly and effective treatments. Family owned and operated for over 61 years, Arrow Exterminators offers a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee and free pest inspections for your home or office. Take back your yard this spring. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. And don't forget to tell them Belinda sent you.
This is Anthony George, the pastor of First Baptist Church of Atlanta. Our church has celebrated Easter Sunday in Atlanta for over 175 years, but you could make this year our best Easter yet. Whether you've never been to church or it's been a while since you went to church, why not give it a try this Easter Sunday? For more information, visit the website for First Baptist Atlanta. That's fba.org. We hope to see you there.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Aram here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that Advanced Hair Guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top local story: a South Fulton police officer is in critical condition after a shootout on Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
We're praying for Lieutenant Cook in his full recovery.
South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says Lieutenant Charles Cook was shot after trying to question a person who was jaywalking. A Fulton County police officer also is shot. His injuries not as serious. The suspect is shot and killed in the exchange of gunfire. The GBI now investigating. Earlier this week, South Fulton police officer Lieutenant Helio Garcia was killed in the line of duty when his patrol car was struck head-on by another vehicle. 2 campus dining employees are identified as the victims of the Florida State University shooting. Robert Morales and another man were killed when a gunman opened fire. 6 others are recovering from their injuries. Doctors say all of them are expected to fully recover. Police say the suspect now will face first-degree murder charges. A new clue as Gwinnett police try to solve a nearly 20-year-old missing persons case. They're releasing age-progressed photos of Marissa Velasco. The 15-month-old girl was kidnapped by her biological mother during a court-approved unsupervised visit in 2005.
Marissa was in de facto custody, staying with foster parents at the time in 2005 because it was deemed that her mother and her mother's boyfriend, who she had been staying with, posed a danger to the child.
Corporal Ryan Winderweedle with Gwinnett County Police says anyone with information should call police. We posted pictures at WSBradio.com. A warning today for parents. Gerber is reissuing a recall.
It's the Soothe and Chew teething sticks from Gerber that's being recalled because they pose a potential choking hazard for babies and young children. Now, this is the second recall that's being issued because it's believed that these teething sticks are still available for sale online and in some stores. They were sold nationwide. Parents are being urged to avoid giving them to children. There have been several reports of choking incidents tied to the teething sticks. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 3:32 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. In the 24-hour traffic center, it's Alex Williams.
Jammed up through Lithonia. We got this stall in the center lane, 20 westbound, Panola Road, exit 71. Tow truck is on scene, about to pull this out of there, but it has cooked the ride back to Turner Hill Road. Just stick with it, though. Lanes should be reopening soon. Over on the west side, 20 eastbound, you're on and off the brakes the whole way this afternoon from Thornton Road over to the west side perimeter. That shooting investigation out on Fulton Industrial Boulevard still has Fulton Industrial shut down both ways right around or just north of I-20 between I-20 and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, so avoid that if you can. And in Doraville, crash pushed off to the right, 285 eastbound, the inner loop right near Beaufort Highway and I-85 Spaghetti Junction. 285 southbound delays continue past I-85, just that Friday volume getting down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny and warm today. High 84. That's trending 10 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds. High 86. Partly cloudy for Easter Sunday. Morning low 62. Afternoon high 87.
It's 80 in Duluth, 83 in Fairburn, also 83 in Cartersville. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care, at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
It's your money. Get it sooner. All you need is direct deposit with a checking or savings account at Coosa Valley Credit Union. This is Andy Harris, president of Coosa Valley Credit Union. Not only can you get your money sooner, but we believe in kinder banking where you deal with real people in person. So come see us.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home fast for maximum value. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about showings, open houses, or costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market, receive an all-cash offer, and close within days. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home fast with their guaranteed cash offer. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
O'Reilly. Stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Buford off Gravel Springs Road across from Ivy Creek Baptist Church now through April 29th for the grand opening sale. You'll get 2 times O Rewards points on select purchases, including 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil to get to your next reward twice as fast. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your new O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You understand my orders on that, Mr. Yamamoto?
I think so.
Okay.
On this Good Friday.
On this Good Friday, I don't want you to upset me by tossing open mics my way that I don't want to hear. When I'm not saying things that are critical, I'm just saying I want good open mics.
He always gaslights you.
And well, it's fine, but if it's entertaining, it's fine. What I don't want is somebody responding to something we said 3 weeks ago, which, by the way, is my fault because we should be doing more open mics on a daily basis. And I always tell the audience that. And I always promise them, wildly insincerely, I always promise them that I'm going to get to more open mics.
You're like a bad boyfriend to the audience.
I'm a bad boyfriend. And
promise you I'm going to be better.
And
promise
they keep coming back.
Promise you.
They keep coming back. So what incentive do I have to change my behavior? I would like to know.
0.
So maybe it's a good time. I'm sorry, George, we didn't tell you this. We just came up with this right now. But maybe some open mics. Because before we leave for Easter weekend, I think it'd be nice to get some of these. And, people, it probably upsets them. They're like, hey, I took the time. I listened to the show. I leave an open mic. And this D-bag, he doesn't care. Maybe I'll go listen to somebody else. And maybe some of them do. And then they realize, nothing's as good as the Von Hessler Doctrine. And then they keep coming back. Let's do this.
Your open mics from the WSB radio app.
There we go. Now we know.
Eric Von Hessler, you just nailed it for humanity. If everybody thought the same way that you do and lived their lives the way that you try to live yours, raising your kids properly, trying to leave the campground a little cleaner than when you found it, we would have almost no problems on this planet. Unfortunately, 90% of every human being that's ever been born is a complete insane ass. Love you guys.
Now, I appreciate what he's saying there, but I do want to push back on one thing because I feel like what makes this country and this world worse and worse is no matter who you are and no matter what your philosophy is or how you live your life, the problem is anybody saying, if everybody else just did it the way I did it, and then it becomes a big scrum and nobody wants to. But I do get what you're saying. And also, I try to raise my kids right, but get a couple beers in them and I'm not around. They'll tell you a few stories. I'm not perfect at that. I don't think. But I think the operative word is try.
Yeah, you got to put some effort in there.
Speaking of children, have you gotten a report back from your ex-husband, Travis, about how the theater went last night at the Minecraft movie where people throwing things around? Were your children disciplined for anything?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I don't think that they were able to go.
Oh. Did somebody
So
do
I don't
something
have a
bad?
good report.
Somebody do something bad?
No, I think that, I don't know why. I'll have to find out. They're actually here. They're being
Okay.
dropped off right now, so I can ask them.
Okay, well, I think it's probably Pete. He
I brought a chicken.
he probably did something, and then Travis like, well, you know what? We're not going to the movie.
What's
All
that
right?
in your backpack? A chicken.
You were going to be up to something. And nobody's brought in a live chicken yet, have they?
They have.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Oh, I thought it was like rubber chicken.
No, somebody brought in a live chicken. Which would
Well,
be
you know what? If I was an usher at that movie theater, they'd be banned for life. I'll tell you that.
Get out of here.
You're not bringing another. So you have like staff running around trying to corral a chicken that's running around?
They call the cops.
Did the cops do it?
Cops made people leave.
The cops shot the chicken and then had a little
and
fry up.
That's what hey, listen, you don't get too close to it. We all eat chicken. Although at this point, I would have taken the chicken and gotten the eggs. Come on,
Seriously,
man.
these egg prices, they're still pretty high. They've gone down, but still
They
pretty
say
high.
they've gone down. My wife does all the shopping.
Oh, wow.
Well, supermarket
nice.
shopping and also clothes shopping and every other kind of shopping, except for electronics. That's and vinyl records.
Although
Although
you just go to Amazon for that.
Yeah, that's shopping.
Yeah.
What, just because I'm sitting on my butt
In your underwear? I'm shopping.
Hey, don't assume I have my underwear on. Please.
Okay. Nude, then.
Oh, yeah. You never do nude shopping?
Sometimes.
Good name for today's show.
Depends on what I'm ordering. Yeah, I can
No,
use
that's
it.
what you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Listen, you know one of the tenets of the von Hessler doctrine is never use your credit card when your pants are around your ankles. Good. You want to live by you want to live by and do it right, like that open micer was talking about. Listen to your buddy Eric von Hessler. Never, ever use your credit card when your pants are down around your ankles. Next open mic, please.
Hey, Von Hessler.
Yes.
I'm watching the live feed right now. Let's see what Jared and Tim and Autumn and George do when I say, chicken jockey!
I don't know what this is.
Chicken jockey.
I don't know what it is.
Minecraft.
I don't know what it is. I don't know because I'm an adult, and I mean that movie looks unwatchable to me. I don't. It just made $9 billion. It looks. It's like, oh, Jack Black's doing that thing again. But I guess the
Hey,
kid.
he made a ton of money off the Mario movie.
Huh?
He made a ton of movie off the Super Mario movie.
He made a ton of movie off the Mario money. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
He made a ton of money off of the Mario movie.
I've got one friend that saw the Minecraft movie, and he said every line Jack Black delivers is that Jack Black.
Yeah.
I
am Steve.
Every line.
Look, I'm not envious of that. He's wildly talented at doing that one thing. You know, I saw some criticism of Kieran Culkin that people say that because he's getting awards and stuff, he was great in Succession. I haven't seen him in a bunch of other stuff, but people say that he just kind of plays himself all the time, and that's like the criticism of him. I gotta tell you something. You try playing yourself in front of cameras. You go into a movie studio with the cameras on, and you got to hit your marks. And the idea that that's such an easy thing, because usually, if you'll self-reflect for a moment, when a camera comes on, you are anything but yourself. So I don't think that's a valid criticism. So what I'm trying to say is leave Kieran Culkin alone.
He was good in there. I saw the movie with him and Jesse Eisenberg where they travel to Poland.
A Real Pain.
Yeah, that was good. Actually, he's good in that one.
What did he just get awarded for?
He got a lot of attention for that one.
Was it recent?
Yeah.
That movie was up for a ton of Oscars this year, and it was on. I watched it on a plane recently.
I mean, it's
good.
nice to have people like Meryl Streep who can do all these different kind of things, but that's not every actor. I mean, look, Jimmy Stewart. I mean, he was great. But he wasn't so different from movie to movie. It's just like, okay, there's that guy, and he's in a Western.
The guy who stammers and whines a lot.
Yeah, but he would be. I mean, I think he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of my favorites of all time. But I don't think that that's necessarily just the only way that you decide if somebody's a good actor is that they have this wild range.
Well, you don't think Meryl Streep would be like, chicken jockey?
Oh, she would give her the money.
Burt Reynolds had a lot of range.
Hey, Burt Reynolds. Orson Welles used to say that he was one of the finest thespians he'd ever.
He was fantastic.
And also Dennis Weaver, the guy who played McCloud.
McCloud was the best show ever.
Nobody listening.
Except for Macmillan and Wife was also good.
How many people even know those references anymore?
McCloud?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't know that?
Well, CBS Sunday Mysteries. I mean, I grew up on them.
I suppose you liked Columbo.
I was a huge Columbo. But you know what? My favorite, the Snoop Sisters. It's Friday. This is where we do references and see if you can keep up with the show.
Did you watch your show of shows?
I was not alive. You're getting to the point where I don't even, I was not alive for that.
Sid Caesar Jared was a genius.
Imogene Coco.
Funny, but not beautiful.
Next open mic.
All right. Yesterday we found out about the possibility of life being on this planet called K2-18b.
This should be the biggest story in the world This should be the biggest story in the world. There's a chance. And you know what? The highest probability so far.
Yeah, highest probability.
That
It's like
we have
a
spotted
percentage off from being.
Can I tell you something? I've never doubted it. I've never doubted it because I took a stats course once. And if you just look at, first of all, the proof of concept is that we're here and the universe is infinite. And if you go for like a statistical algorithm, I think that a lot of people, this is my notion. I think a lot of people think the universe is the solar system or the Milky Way galaxy. I really do. People do not realize how unbelievably huge the universe is. So it's always been a stats thing to me. Proof of concept, we're here. It's huge. These gases and things and that are all out there. And so it doesn't surprise me. Now, I don't think they've ever traveled here or they're Area 51 or any kind of nonsense like that.
Triangular,
Right.
I guess, place they found in Area
the tower?
The tower, yes.
The Tower of Love. Now, this doesn't mean that there's like humanoids or even anything like us. It could just be algae or something. But there's a lot of this. I can't remember what this one. You got to look it up. It's called like Nemea, and whatever. It's not like they're seeing oxygen and things like this, but they're seeing this one chemical that, as far as we know, you have to have life for that. But life doesn't mean people walking around and going to work necessarily.
Well, this open micer rather has something to say about that.
Riddle me this, Batman. How in the world, or in space rather, can we even see a planet to even discover it 125 light years away? Do you know that's the measure of light, how far it would travel in a distance? What do we have that can go that far, and who's had it for over 125 years for us to even see
All
it?
right, you need
Answer
to
that.
Okay, I will answer that. So and he's
start from the beginning.
Now he's right from the amount of time it would take. So the amount of time that it would take for Jared to go from that chair to the moon, that's the speed of light, be about 2.5 seconds. So if you were going that fast, it would take you 100,000 years to get across our galaxy. And there's like 175 billion galaxies out there. And the universe is so vast that if you took all of those galaxies and pushed them all together in one place, it would represent like 7% of the universe. And that's how flung out there everything is. But I will explain. Do we have to break? I think we have to go to traffic, and so I don't want to start explaining now. But we will, from time to time. It's a good day.
Yeah.
Beautiful day in ATL. Let's explain how telescopes work, how you find out about this sort of
We'll
stuff.
even play the open mic again when we come back. How about that? Just let people
A
know.
little added value.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll win.
Are you serious? Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
OMG! The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh
my God, you just made my day! Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
Begins Monday, April 21st on 95.5 WSB. This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from Virtual Imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
We are here with CFP and investment advisor Aaron Vincent of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Aaron, you mentioned that taxes are on sale. What exactly does that mean? And is it something we need to take advantage of right now?
Yeah, Mark, it may not feel like it right now, especially this time of year, but when you look at history, we are actually in historically low income tax rates time. If you look back, tax rates have been significantly higher. And when you look at the national debt, which most reference at around $36 trillion, but when you consider the fact that with all the unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, it's actually north of $100 trillion. When we look at factors like that, there's a pretty good chance that tax rates actually go significantly higher again. So yeah, you can make an argument that right now taxes are on sale.
So Aaron, what can we do right now to take advantage of these low tax rates?
If you don't have an income plan in your retirement conversations, then you actually don't have a tax plan. That's important because if you don't have a plan for your money, guess who does? Uncle Sam's got one, and by default, you'll fall into that one. So we want to offer you a no-cost, no-obligation tax map. It's a deep dive into your retirement plan and specifically your tax strategy. From there, we'll make suggestions based on what's working or what opportunities could better fit your situation. The goal is for you to keep more of your hard-earned money while giving less to Uncle Sam. Call us at 770-280-1488. Again, that's 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we're available all across Metro Atlanta to meet you at a time and place that fits your schedule.
Taxes are not a seasonal conversation, and they're not going away once you retire. Take advantage of the complimentary tax map by calling the Vincent Financial Group today, 770-280-1488. That's 770-280-1488. And join us for Retire ATL, Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Looking for a great dining memory, y'all? Hey, it's Belinda. I love the amazing Southern food and service at Old Vinings Inn. If you haven't been there yet, you're missing out. Nestled in the heart of Vinings, that charming house offers a cozy, upscale, and welcoming atmosphere, perfect for any occasion. Romantic dinner, baby or bridal shower, business dinner, night out with friends. Old Vinings Inn has you covered. Indulge in delectable Southern cuisine, crafted with the freshest ingredients. Savor their signature fried green tomatoes and fried chicken, or delight in the rich flavors of my favorite, shrimp and grits. Everything on the menu is a winner. You thirsty? The curated wine list and handcrafted cocktails are sure to impress. Enjoy all that plus live entertainment and specials at the Attic Bar. Wednesday through Saturday nights. Ready for fun and flavor now, y'all? Open for lunch and brunch Thursday through Sunday and dinner Wednesday through Saturday. Reserve your table or large groups today at Old Vinings Inn.
All right, we gotta help this person with how we can see a planet that is 125 light years away and who's had this ability and where we get it from. I think what you have to start with, I think there's a common misperception that the better the telescope is, that the actual lens is seeing that far away. That's not what's happening. What's happening is that the lenses and whatever these things are now that are on the JWTS, I'll call them lenses, they become so sensitive to light that they're just able to see light that is so at such low frequency, so small, so tiny. I'll put it that way. I'm not a scientist. But whereas the telescope before wasn't sensitive enough to pick up these very, very weak things that have been going through space for so long. So that's how you pick it up. You pick it up because the next telescope can actually be illuminated by lesser and lesser and lesser lights that have been traveling for a longer period of time. Obviously, the light that comes from us in our own solar system is traveling for minutes. What's the sun?
It's 8 minutes.
You're looking at the sun 8 minutes ago. That's what you're seeing. So start there. You're looking with your own eyeballs. When you look at the sun, you're looking at the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. It took 8 minutes for that light to get from the sun to you. And it's easy. You don't need a telescope because it's very close. That light is going to keep on traveling for infinity, but as it does, it's going to get, it's going to be harder and harder to detect. So it's just about sensitivity in these panels, and you can pick up things. Now, the reason that they think that they know they've picked up life is because, and this is a wild thing that we've been doing for a long time, is that they put the light through I'll say the word prism. It's much more than that, but that's the concept. And you begin, because of the way the light's different through the prism, you know which bands or colors represent different chemical processes that are being bounced back with the light. And through that is how you figure out, first of all, that's how you see something that's 125 light years away, and how you can pick up on the fact that perhaps there's life there is because the light going through whatever the chemical prism they have tells you what is potentially on that planet. Did I do a pretty good job there? Your husband's a spaceologist.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that sounded about right, especially the part with the spectra, because that is what like Travis looks at to determine what kind of gases and things are coming from active black holes.
Ah, look at that.
What if they're inactive?
Well, there's nothing to like.
they're
There's
not
nothing
doing-
going on.
there's
They're not
nothing going-
spewing anything out.
Yeah. Well, actually, most of the light that comes from a black hole is on the. I mean, I think everything we see from a
The
black hole.
accretion disks.
Yeah, those. What's the other word? That's the
Event
event
horizon.
horizon. And there's a new. I don't know if it's a new theory, but I saw a theory that said that they think that's. Some people think that somehow that represents all of the black hole. Is actually that maybe all of it is the event horizon. I'm not enough. I shouldn't even brought it up. I know so little about it, but I did read something that there is a little bit of arguments among scientists, fistfights over this sort of thing.
He's got a black eye.
I know, Travis. Listen, Travis is
wrestling
not
around with these guys.
Why would he back down when he knows he's the expert?
knows. Yeah, he knows.
Who the hell are they? And then Stephen Hawking proved that they dissipate until they disappear at some point. They actually do lose. So they put their
So they're collapsed stars? Is that what they are?
I think, yeah. This is
Yes,
how it
black
starts.
holes are.
And by the way, this planet where we think that there's possibly life is actually around a red star, I believe.
Okay.
So, and I think that if there is life there, now I'm going on my memory of what I've read. If there is life there, I think that there's more red stars than any other kind of stars. So
What's our
if they're,
star?
huh?
Yellow.
Well,
Ours yellow?
I don't know what they call it.
Middle-aged
There's
star.
it's a middle-aged star. It's I think it's got about
Still got some good life
It's got
in front
like
of it.
8 billion years in it, and we're at like 4.5 or 5
She's a
billion.
cougar.
What if we got that wrong? What if we? Well, it's we got 5 billion.
Don't worry, we got plenty of time.
I got plenty of time.
Her knees hurt a little bit, but overall, in good shape.
All right, on the holiday weekend, our good buddy Bill Crane will join us when we get back.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Jason Hansen, a former CIA officer. In these uncertain times, with rising geopolitical tensions and skyrocketing inflation, protecting your financial future is crucial. That's why I trust Advantage Gold for all my precious metal investments. They're the only company I buy from, period. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide. See exactly how gold can safeguard your wealth. Again, call 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
I'm not surprised that Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical continues to grow and are looking for good, caring people to join their team. If you've got experience as a plumber, electrician, or you're an HVAC technician, give Ragsdale a call and become part of a great team. This is Scott Slate, and I used companies large and small until I went with Ragsdale years ago and saw firsthand how competent and caring a heating and air company could be. Many of their employees have been with them 10, 20, even 30 years. For a great opportunity to grow with a great company, go to ragsdaleair.com/careers and apply today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here, co-host of The Car Guys with my good friend and brother, Kevin Deutsch, from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Whatever you want to know about buying, selling, leasing, or maintaining a vehicle, Kevin has your answers.
That's right, Shelley. For over 40 years, I've sold, leased, fixed, and financed pretty much every make and model. I've seen it all. If you have any car questions, we'll have the answers every Saturday at noon.
It's The Car Guys, Saturdays at noon on 95.5 WSB, brought to you by Butler Lexus of South Atlanta.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio News, sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top local story, a shootout on Fulton Industrial Boulevard leaves one police officer in critical condition and another injured. The South Fulton Police Chief says it is an example of just how quickly things can change.
City of South Fulton Police Lieutenant Charles Cook was passing by when a Fulton County police officer was stopping a jaywalker near a hotel at 4120 Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
He was able to get out of the vehicle, and that's when he actually drew fire. I did have a brief conversation with the Fulton County police officer who is here as well. He sustained minor injuries. He said that if Lieutenant Cook hadn't been there, he doesn't know if he would be alive right now.
South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says the suspect died on the scene and the circumstances are under investigation by the GBI. At Grady Hospital in Atlanta, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It has been a difficult week for the South Fulton Police Department. Governor Kemp ordering flags at the state capitol and in Fulton County to fly at half-staff Monday in honor of a South Fulton police officer killed in the line of duty. Lieutenant Helio Garcia was driving his department vehicle on Flat Shoals Road when another vehicle veered into his lane and struck him head-on earlier this week. He was one of the original officers with the South Fulton Police Department. Now 84 degrees in Atlanta. Will it stay dry for Easter weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. We are learning more today about the shooting on the campus of Florida State University. 2 campus dining employees are identified as the victims who died. Robert Morales and another man were killed when a gunman opened fire. The 20-year-old suspect, Phoenix Eichner, is facing first-degree murder charges.
At this point, there does not appear to be any connection at all between the shooter and any of the victims.
Police Chief Lawrence Revel says the suspect remains in the hospital with significant injuries. FSU student Reed Seabold had classes with the suspect.
Phoenix had a history of espousing alt-right and white supremacist rhetoric. I remember hearing somewhere that at some point he said that Rosa Parks was in the wrong.
Doctors say all 6 people injured in the shooting are expected to fully recover. Progress is made in the past year to get more affordable housing in Atlanta. Here's a report all new at 4 o'clock.
Last year, Atlanta Housing President and CEO Terry Lee says they created more than 1,700 new affordable housing units and preserved 1,400 others. Lee says they want to provide security to the people they help.
We want to create a continuum where we're able to assist our families, but also help to build them and graduate them so that they can be able to be a little bit more self-sufficient.
Lee says they will continue to focus on financial education and down payment assistance and programs directed at seniors and young people. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Police in Gwinnett County hope several age-progressed photos can help them solve the nearly 20-year mystery of a missing child.
Gwinnett Police Corporal Ryan Winterweedle says Marissa Velasco was just 15 months old when she was kidnapped
kidnapped in 2005 by her biological mother during a court-approved unsupervised visit.
Marissa was in de facto custody, staying with foster parents at the time because it was deemed that her mother and her mother's boyfriend, who she had been staying with, posed a danger to the child.
The mother is identified as Rena Velasco. The boyfriend was Vidal Cruz. Anyone with information is asked to call Gwinnett County Police or Crime Stoppers. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
And you can see the pictures of Marissa at WSBradio.com. An investigation is underway after a deadly boat crash on Lake Lanier. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources says it happened this week near the Three Sisters Island in Forsyth County. One person was killed. It is the first boating fatality on Lake Lanier this year. Once the investigation is complete, game wardens will decide if any charges will be filed. The victim's name is not yet released. Today is Good Friday. This is from the traditional Good Friday Way of the Cross devotions at the Colosseum in Rome. The annual Easter sunrise service is at Stone Mountain Park on Sunday morning. Gates open at 3 a.m. with sky rides to the top of the mountain to watch the sunrise service at 7 a.m. The service usually draws thousands of people each year. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
A busy Good Friday out on the roadways. Bill, travel advisory in Stockbridge. Crash on your right lane open. 75 southbound Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224. Jammed up from 675. You can use the express lanes with the Peach Pass. They're pointed southbound, or Highway 42 as your alternate. Now we got a travel advisory in DeKalb County heading through Brookhaven. Crash 85 southbound Claremont Road, exit 91. We're trying to see which lanes are blocked, but already very slow back to Shallowford. Use that access road or Buford Highway to avoid that. And that shooting investigation continues to have Fulton Industrial Boulevard shut down on the west side in both directions between I-20 and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. You can use Discovery Boulevard, Fairburn Road, some other alternates around there. We're also tracking plenty of brake lights through downtown this Friday. Sydney Darden.
Yeah, your usual Friday volume through Midtown, 75 to 85 southbound, really jammed up, especially around exit to 14th and 10th Street there. There was one incident that's not working off of the shoulder. Nonetheless, by the time you get to the top of the Grady curve, you will still see those brake lights as you approach I-20 on the opposite side, I-85 northbound, feeling the pinch around exit 240, 40 University Avenue. That's going to have you really slowing and going until you get past I-20 on up towards 17th Street. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Fair skies and warm for this evening. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 86. Partly cloudy on Easter Sunday, trending warmer as well. Morning low 62, afternoon high 87.
83 in Roswell, 82 in Lithia Springs, and 84 in Ellenwood. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now with my new hero. Bill Crane is here, chief political analyst for WSB Radio and Television. Usually I ask this as a rhetorical question, but how are you feeling?
I'm feeling well. I walked a mile today. I enjoyed the beautiful outdoors and the sunshine.
It's a beautiful day.
And,
I heard you yesterday as I was driving somewhere, and you're on the Shelley Winter Show, and so you were mentioning that. So you started the chemo process, and what do you have to do? 12 altogether. So you've got one down, 11
every
to go.
2 weeks, and it's 4.5 hours sitting in the chair, and then this particular FolFox 6, it's called. You wear it kind of looks like a fanny pack. You wear this thing that has a pump on the side, and it basically continues to feed you for 48 hours the same at a lower dosage.
Mm-hmm.
The same chemotherapy via IV, and then you come back, give that back, and get IV fluids because it's going to beat the crap out of your white and red blood cells and iron, and then you're on your way. And nothing for 2 weeks. I was going to do a thing with chemotherapy pills and then chemo every 3 weeks, but they mentioned, since you don't have a colon.
Maybe not.
Pills are not good because your body can't absorb the medication.
Right.
And so we don't recommend that version for this cancer because you'd have no way of knowing how much you're absorbing of the medication.
Well, I'll tell you something, man. I admire the hell out of you. It's because, there's more than physical. It's also mental, and the fact that you've gotten back up and gotten out there and doing your thing is
Bill was saying
amazing.
yesterday he was out at UGA. I'm like, my goodness, this guy doesn't stop over here.
I don't go anywhere.
Well, I built in more breaks and pauses, and I stayed overnight in Athens, or actually in Braselton, with a mentor of mine who retired yesterday, running the broadcast news sequence at Georgia. And was my first boss in television.
Oh,
and
look at
so
that.
I went over there for her, and it was nice of
Well, it's nice to be with a friend.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, you're our friend. It is nice to be with you. And it's
Good to
time,
be here in person.
Time to have a Bill Crane brain drain. Not much going on in politics
No,
these
it's been
days.
kind of
but,
slow, which makes it easier.
Yeah. Do we have a Bill Crane?
sure do.
All right, there we go.
It's time for Bill Crane's Brain Drain.
Before we get to the first story, I don't know if you heard on the way in, I had an epiphany when I was watching the news. Just, I don't know, I was sitting around because I'm always trying to figure out what is Trump's governing philosophy. You know, like where are we? You know, kind of.
I like your word, by the way.
Yeah, belligerence. Hey, and maybe
No, I mean, it's
belligerence
very,
works.
and
you know?
having met him and spent some time with him, yeah, I would say it's on. That's spot on.
Absolutely. And he, I just saw, and I don't know if this has made your thing. I don't know if I saw a thing on CNN, and I went and looked for a story. I only found stories from 2 days ago, but I thought I saw at the lower part of CNN a few minutes ago that it said that Trump says that he has opened negotiations with China. But I thought I saw that, and then I went to look for a story.
Well, they are going on with Japan. You can kind of confuse those countries.
I you think me?
No, but China, Japan, they both start with a J.
Yeah, they got J's.
Is this why? Did he say it that way at one point?
He did say China. Like the. China.
I got you.
I know that I read that he said that Trump signals China's Xi is reaching out.
Okay. Remember, it's she.
She.
It's his preferred
I thought
pronoun.
it also started with a J. No. I'm
No.
kidding.
Or a G.
China.
Could be a soft G.
Jingling, trans.
Fermany.
German. Well, yeah.
The G is soft.
All right. What do you got?
Well, I think this is, I mean, there's so many big Trump stories, but we kind of alluded to this a little bit in the first hour. But Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The man, this is where USA Today gets editorial.
Is this the Maryland husband?
Says the man wrongly deported to El Salvador.
Well, he was. I mean, by clerical X's and O's.
Even the administration acknowledges it was an accident.
Yeah, it was wrong.
But
by the
now
way,
we're saying he's a member of the gang, so he should still stay in El Salvador.
well, then put him on trial or put him in front of a judge.
They need to have a process. They need to give people due process rights if they are here legally. Now, I would say, again, if you're here illegally or you've overstayed your visa, you start to lose those rights that American citizens all have.
There's some kind of weird thing with this where some lower court or an immigration court said he did come in illegally, but that he can stay for some period of time and
while
then
he's being reviewed.
And then he was okay. So he was in the middle of the process.
Correct.
Right as this was going on. Before we get onto that El Salvador thing, Chris Van Hollen, when I saw that, one thing came to mind.
Van Halen is what came to my mind.
Well, beyond that, CVH he's running for president in 2028. That's to me because he doesn't have any power.
Because folks from Maryland have such a good history
as
in seeking the White House.
Absolutely.
Hey, watch out! You're going to trigger Autumn. She's proudly from Maryland.
She loves. We have had some vice presidents from
she's running.
Maryland.
Spiro. She loves
Spiro Agnew. He was one of the greats. So. Would you agree with that? To me, that's because you've got. I see what's happening here. You've got AOC and Bernie, and I don't think Bernie's going to run, but maybe he's trying to set her up to run in some way. I think that some people that don't look at her as somebody right now who's ready for that kind of prime time, and there's nobody else. So I think I think that's the reason you do something like this.
There are people in the party that are starting to more clearly speak to the fact that their best hope is not Kamala Harris 2.0.
Right.
So. There will be a list of names, and a lot of governors like Gavin Newsom are trying to do some things in court and elsewhere. But also, I think he's got some real challenges in his home state for him to be talking about presidential aspects.
Certainly. He looks like a TV president.
Oh, he looks like great
that
hair,
going for him.
great teeth.
The whole thing. He's got a little bit of the gravelly voice. He probably wishes he was a little smoother on that. But other than that.
Maybe he could talk to RFK.
Yeah,
it worked for me.
They should run together. Do you agree with them? I can't understand them. I don't know. Maybe. We'll just see if it works. So what do you think eventually is going – well, I don't even want to ask for predictions necessarily, but where do you think this thing with the courts is eventually going? At some point, they have to get in, right? I mean, at some point, they have to
there's congressional legislation that's been proposed, hasn't been sent or passed either chamber yet, but that will limit the scope of a district court judge on any federal statute or any presidential executive order to the geographic district in which they reside. Like Georgia has 2 federal circuit courts. That's not what the founders envisioned.
So what's the
That's
upside
not-
of it? What's the change of that, Brent? Maybe
That
for
would
people.
basically, essentially, reduce, lower, give a demotion, if you will, to all federal district and appellate court judges, which mostly, eventually, are where we draw our Supreme Court judges from.
And Trump just wants to be like, if there's something, I want it to go right to the Supreme Court.
Right. And I don't want some leftist judge, in his words, California, New York, Washington, to shoot down whatever I say just on ideological issues, on an activist judge saying, no, can't do that.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't
yeah.
he really kind of saying I'm not patient enough, because when the activist judge
he's
says,
belligerent. He's also bellicose, and he wants his way. So he's trying to clear paths. Like, I think you're correct on this, the third term. I think he wasn't kidding.
Yeah,
and this is part of that. Is if you beat down the executive branch has already kind of taken over the legislative branch. If you beat down the judicial branch, there is nothing in your way.
Well, here's the upside to that, though. If the American people actually give him a third term, that means our economy is on fire.
Yeah,
you still have to win. You still have to win.
Yeah, you still have to run and win.
Yeah.
He'll be 82. I don't know that there'll be many Republicans with the cojones to challenge him in a primary, but I hope he comes to his senses.
It can only happen if, by happen, I mean all the way through. He runs, he gets reelected, all of that. If things are just going
Well, the way he's kind of
very
hinting,
well.
and you're hearing out of D.C., is that he'll put either J.D. Vance or whomever is his vice president at that point in time up as his successor.
I think it's gonna be Rubio.
Yeah,
Rubio's
that
my
person.
prediction.
I like Rubio the way he's performing Secretary of State. That person wins the election and then resigns, and he's the vice president. He's the running mate.
Yeah, see, isn't that kind of that's not really settled, right? That's a theory that he could do it that way.
Well, that's how Teddy Roosevelt got to serve 3 terms. He was McKinley's vice president. He became president, then he was elected twice.
There wasn't a law then.
But there's no law, right? So they're going to go. What they want to do is go to precedent.
You're correct.
But this is an amendment.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think you got 2/3 of Congress or the states to overturn a constitutional amendment.
And by the way, I'm not trying to say sky is falling or anything like that. I'm just saying my own. When people were talking about the fact that he would go for another term, I just laughed. Those people are ridiculous.
But we both have friends also going, hell yeah.
Well, of course. Of course, because that's America.
We don't need a judicial branch. It's all good.
I will tell you this though, that it is also a reaction. It's a reaction to a lot of abuse of the system as it is now. And the fact that, a lot of times, let's not get these lower courts like they're saints. They're politicians too, and they're doing things for politics. So the whole thing is political. It's just that before Trump, all other presidents said, yeah, I'd like to do some things, but
I play by the rules.
Between precedent and protocols and the Constitution. So listen, what he might say is, if I get a plurality of the American people that want me to do this again, then that ends the argument. But that's really not true, because you've got to change that amendment if you want that to happen. And remember, Democrats, the only reason we have that amendment is because of your party and your hero, FDR. So
4 terms in and basically dying.
He knew he was dying when he got fourth term. There was no way. He was there for about a month, basically.
Yeah, before
and then
Truman took over.
Alex Williams says there's a big jam on 85 into Brookhaven.
Good afternoon, Eric. Yeah, we're watching the tough brake lights 85 southbound from Shallowford Road down to a crash. We're trying to see what lanes are blocked just before Claremont Road exit 91. Also at a stall in the HOV lane to that mix, and I want you to use the access road or Buford Highway as an alternate. Now, even before that, we have a travel advisory in Duluth. Crash 85 southbound Pleasant Hill Road exit 104. 2 left lanes are blocked there. Use Satellite Boulevard or Buford Highway. Elsewhere, don't forget, Fulton Industrial Boulevard still shut down with a shooting investigation between I-20 and MLK. Plan your alternates there. Also been tracking a crash on I-75 in Stockbridge. Sydney Darden.
Yeah, 75 southbound right near Hudson Bridge, exit 224. It's sitting now in the left shoulder, causing you delays as you make your way towards McDonough. This report sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Get Easter favorites at Whole Foods Market. Save 30% on no antibiotics ever. Bone-in cut pork hams with Prime through April 22nd. This is while supplies last. You can shop in-store or online. Terms apply. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews from the Von Hessler Doctorate, inviting you to join me for the Tim Andrews Popcast, my weekly pop culture and entertainment show. I have 2 guests this week. First, the legendary entertainer and singer Pat Boone, and also Christopher Farrar, co-star of the Amazon Prime film G20. Check it out. That's the Tim Andrews Popcast. Tomorrow night at 7 on 95.5 WSB.
Cancer upends your life,
We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Your roof has been impacted. Heavy rain, strong winds, damaging storms. Home Fix It show host Dave Baker here. I recommend you get a free roof analysis from my award-winning roofer, Findlay Roofing. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof. This is Rocco with another reason why you should always bring your European vehicle to Rocco's European Garage. No tax charged on any service at any one of our 6 locations through the month of April. That's zero tax on your bill. You'll receive the usual top-notch customer service, including upfront pricing, customer approval prior to beginning work, complimentary shuttle service, and a 3-day appointment window to get you back on the road quicker. And remember, guys, no tax this month on any service or repair at Rocco's European Garage.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a common seasonal virus, but it can have major implications on a patient's heart health. Most RSV cases involve mild cold-like symptoms, but up to 160,000 adults are hospitalized each year for more serious cases. And RSV can escalate chronic health issues. If you're over the age of 60, talk to your doctor to find out if the new RSV vaccine is right for you. And learn more at heart.org/RSV.
How do I know I'm ready for air conditioning season? Well, the good people at Ragsdale Heating and Air say I am after my preventive maintenance visit, so I know it's right. This is Scott Slade. You know, many Ragsdale employees have been with them for 10, 20, even 30 years. And because they know their business and know your home system so well, they solve small problems before they become big ones. Like the filter I forgot to change. And my tech didn't make me feel bad about it at all. He replaced it with a smile. You ought to get to know Ragsdale with spring in the air and summer days coming. Right now, you could take up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system. And that comes with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. And if your current system needs attention before the summer heat, then Ragsdale Heating and Air has just what you need, a $79 AC tune-up. You can trust Ragsdale for plumbing and electrical work, too, when you go to ragsdaleair.com or call them. With more than 10,000 reviews and a 4.9 Google rating, more folks are discovering what I know. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
All right, we are draining Bill Crane's brain. All that knowledge. This is all that gurgling knowledge. Years and years of political consultation. And we get to drain the brain.
If you could clear that stuff out that's from the 80s, there's I need a new archive or a wing in there while you're in there.
Okay, listen, I have a crew. It's not actually me, but
got
I
it.
pay,
All right.
I pay
Okay.
people.
All
You know,
right.
it's just kind of the way, kind of my style is I just pay people to do actual work.
That's where I am with my yard work.
And I come in, I'm the same way. You know, somebody told me a long time ago, as like we got to the point in the 90s where, you know, people were starting to really get overweight a lot. And a friend of mine said, you know, we live in a society where people will spend money for a riding lawnmower and then pay money to go to a gym. You could actually just do your own
And
yard work.
circle the parking lot to get the space that's very closest to the door of the gymnasium.
That's something I do not understand.
I do not.
Why not walk across the parking
It's
lot?
the same
What-
people that don't put the buggies back in the buggy bins at the grocery stores.
You know what?
They're jerks.
They are. But I've never. I will go into especially if you're shopping around Christmas time or whatever. I'll just go to the furthest
Me
place
too. I
away
don't want
and
my
just
guard door dinged.
Yeah, right. Just I'll just go and I'll just park and
Walk in.
I can still walk. I don't know, 50 yards. I can still manage that.
Trump should deport those people. Deport the people that do that.
Well, if you don't put your buggy back, you don't belong in the country.
The courts might disagree with you on that.
Well, look, we'll have to see how it plays out. Okay?
All right, what's next?
People better watch out on WSB. The New York Times for this next story here.
New York Times. Whatever happened to my WSB?
Harvard's stand against Trump is actually helping the institution raise more money. So people are surprised that it's
more donors, not more money. They're not going to replace $2.2 billion with the guy giving $108.
Right, but I think they're surprised at the amount they're getting from the donors.
Now, hold on. Break this down for me. What's really happening here? Is this a grassroots thing that percentage-wise won't make much of a difference in the endowment, but just shows that they have some political backing?
What the story says is there's a bunch of angry, non-prior donors of Harvard who are alumni of Harvard. And it is, I'm not slamming Harvard. It's an excellent school, but it does lean left.
Sure. Most campuses do.
They do, particularly in Ivy League. Mm-hmm. President Trump's got a number of differences with them, particularly what he doesn't think they've done as it relates to Israel and tamping out anti-Semitism on campus. So he's withholding $2.2 billion in a variety of federal grants from Harvard. Harvard alumni, Harvard faculty, donors who've never given are very angry about this, and so they're starting like GoFundMes and they're giving Harvard money. And it is generating new donors. But as the link that Jared shared, one of them that's quoted throughout the story has never given before, and his first gift was $108, which has something to do with Judaism, something.
Oh, okay. So as a symbolic.
Yeah, it's a symbolic gift, but he's calling his friends and classmates and raising money because he previously said, look, they've got an endowment of billions of dollars. Why do they need my money?
Right.
So I'm suggesting this is perhaps a temporary.
Probably. It's just it's a
Trump bump right now.
A Trump bump, and it takes a whole lot of $108
to get up to these billions.
$2.2 billion, yes.
It's
But Harvard isn't going to go broke anytime soon.
No, and with that endowment, how long could they? Is there any way for a university that large to run without any connection to the government? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. In fact, there are Ivy League and private schools that don't receive and don't do research grants and that run on their tuition. And
so you can't be.
But Harvard is a national institution that has a medical school, has a law school, has a business school, and they do research, just as the University of Georgia does, just as Emory does. And in Georgia, our public colleges and universities have lost about $1 billion.
I saw a study or something about Harvard. This was like maybe 10 years ago. That 10 years after graduation, it's like for the first 10 years, if you go to Harvard or one of these Ivy League schools, you actually do better leaving college than people who go to different colleges and come out. But it turns out that after 10 years, it becomes kind of even. And then after that, there's no bump at all from going to Harvard. I'm not exactly sure
Maybe
what got
that's
them
about
those
the
numbers.
point you start to pay that debt down is about
Possibly, yes. Alex Williams says there are 2 travel advisories on 85 in Northeast Atlanta.
Yeah, first one's 85 southbound in Brookhaven. This crash, multiple right lanes blocked. 85 South Claremont Road, exit 91. Also held all lanes to get a stall off to the right. Go ahead and use that access road that runs parallel or Beaufort Highway as your alternate. Now, northeast of there, we have this other crash, 85 South in Duluth below Pleasant Hill Road. That is in 2 left lanes. You're stacked up back towards Sugarloaf Parkway, Satellite Boulevard, or Beaufort Highway will also get you around that. How's the ride on I-20 on the west side, Sydney Darden?
It's a slow crawl, particularly I-20 westbound, leaving exit 44 to Thornton Road, really on and off the brakes towards Douglasville. And remember, we still got some police activity that's shutting down Fulton Industrial Boulevard between MLK Drive and I-20. You can use Discovery Boulevard as an alternate there. And I-20 eastbound, there is just a little bit of stop and go as you're leaving Factory Shoals approaching 285. From the Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer for virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top local story, a simple case of jaywalking leads to a police shootout on Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Lieutenant Charles Cook with South Fulton Police is now in critical condition. A Fulton County officer has minor injuries and the suspect is dead. South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says the department is still reeling from the death of Lieutenant Helio Garcia, who was killed in the line of duty.
It's been a rough week. As you all know, we lost Lieutenant Garcia earlier this week, and now with Lieutenant Cook, we haven't been short on support from everyone throughout the region.
Police say the suspect opened fire after he was spotted jaywalking. The GBI is now investigating. 84 degrees in Atlanta, above average temperatures for Easter weekend. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. New information today in the shooting at Florida State.
The alleged 20-year-old gunman, Phoenix Eichner, remains in the hospital with significant injuries. But Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revel says once he's released,
he'll be taken to a local detention facility where he will face the charges up to and including first-degree murder.
As for a motive for the shooting that killed two,
at this point, there does not appear to be any connection at all between the shooter and any of the victims.
5 others were injured, and emergency surgeon Brett Howard says,
we do feel that all will make a full recovery.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Gwinnett police are releasing age-progressed photos, hoping for new clues in a nearly 20-year-old missing persons case. 15-month-old Marissa Velasco was kidnapped by her biological mother during a court-approved, unsupervised visit in December of 2005. Neither she or her mother has been seen or heard from since. We posted the photos at WSBradio.com, and anyone with information should call Gwinnett Police. A serial rapist in DeKalb County will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
40-year-old Mario Kearney was convicted by a jury for an attack on a woman in 2019 after he forced her into his car at gunpoint outside a laundromat near I-20 and 285. DNA evidence from the rape kit matched several other pending rape cases in DeKalb County around the same time. Kearney was charged in another rape years earlier in Morrow, but only served 3 years behind bars for that. He's now been sentenced to life without the possibility of parole plus 5 years. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump says he wants to see the war in Ukraine end soon. The president accuses both Russia and Ukraine of playing games when it comes to peace talks.
A lot of people are being killed as we talk about, as they play games. So we're not gonna take that.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the U.S. is set to abandon Ukraine peace talks if no progress is made with Russia. It is a banner day for fourth grade STEAM students at Warren T. Jackson Elementary School in Atlanta.
Students are releasing hundreds of trout into the Chattahoochee River. They grew about 2,000 eggs in an on-campus trough, preparing them for release.
We feed and grow these fish till about 8 weeks old, and then we deliver them to be released into the Chattahoochee.
Sean Grismore is the school's STEAM coordinator. They also change out the water, maintain proper pH levels. They even came up with a screen system to prevent birds from eating the eggs. The school was only the second one in the country to achieve a dual STEM and International Baccalaureate certification. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Soccer fans in Metro Atlanta have a chance for a rare experience this summer.
FIFA is looking for volunteers for this summer's first ever Club World Cup. The 32-team tournament will include 6 matches at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Anyone interested can apply online. They must be at least 18, speak English, and commit to a minimum of 8 shifts from June 14th through July 13th. Applicants must also pass a criminal background check. Positions include everything from ticketing and hospitality to media operations and team services. They're all unpaid, but FIFA promises an experience of a lifetime. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
It is now 4:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather on this Good Friday afternoon. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Watching this travel advisory in northeast Atlanta, Brookhaven area, 85 southbound, Claremont Road, exit 91. Crash looks to be in a couple of right lanes, so that's why you're jammed up from Shallowford. You can use the access road there as an alternate. Now up in Duluth, we also have an inbound travel advisory, 85 southbound, Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. That crashes in 2 left lanes. You slow back at Sugarloaf Parkway, take Satellite Boulevard to avoid that. Northbound 85 getting sluggish from Shallowford or Chamblee Tucker Road up into Norcross. In downtown, close to 25 minutes traveling southbound from the 85-400 merge down to I-20. How's the crash we've been watching on I-75 in Stockbridge, Sydney Darden?
Well, we finally got some better news. That crash 75 southbound at Hudson Bridge now off to the shoulder completely. We did have a big tractor trailer blocking the left lane for some time now, headed towards exit 224. But as you can see, those delays are slowly starting to improve as you make your way towards McDonough from the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Fair skies for tonight. Temperatures falling to the upper 50s, low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 86. Warmer still for Easter Sunday, morning low 62, afternoon high 87.
It's 83 now in Conyers, 84 in Hiram, and 82 in Brookhaven. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Whoa. With the Cubs getting older, we need more space, so we're on the hunt for a new house. Our must-haves, a big yard for the Cubs and Scana Energy for natural gas. It won't be easy to choose the perfect house, but Scana has tons of options that'll make it easy to find the perfect natural gas plan. The sooner we find a place, the better. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60. Limited time offer. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
A DUI conviction could be life-changing. Get the DUI lawyer. GeorgeStein.com.
O'Reilly.
Stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Buford off Gravel Springs Road across from Ivy Creek Baptist Church now through April 29th for the grand opening sale. Get 2 times Overwards points on all Armor All wipes, plus receive 2 times points on Valvoline Flex Fill Gear Oil, which means you can reach your next $5 reward twice as fast. Right now at your new O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Bill Crane brain drain continues. But we were talking, you were saying, I agree with you that Marco Rubio, to me, is performing better as Secretary of State than I imagined he would. And he looks a little presidential to me.
He's even kind of leaned in some of those briefings in the Oval Office and interrupted a couple of times.
I do have a theory that he might be the first one off the ship. I don't know. He's more steeped in, kind of
Washingtonian, yeah.
Yeah, and somewhere along the line,
a rhino.
No, I guess some people would see it that way.
I'll wager that he'll get off the ship at some point, but I think it'll be Musk.
Oh, well, he's not really. I'm talking about the cabinet, not the.
I understand,
not the shadow cabinet.
Musk will be out next month.
Musk is leaving, I think, next month.
But that doesn't necessarily mean he's out. It just means he's not official.
Right.
But there's a circle of people that are, on his little.
You think his key card's still going to work there,
yeah,
Bill
I think
Crane?
he'll still have access.
Have you ever seen? Are you familiar with this guy, Alex Karp?
No.
He's the CEO of Palantir.
I'm not.
Palantir has cornered the market in being third-party computer everything algorithms for the entire government, from the military to the IRS to whatever. And
they're building the AI machine, if you will, for
everything. Basically, what it is you tell me what you want. Who do you want killed? How do you want them killed? How do you get it done? And they are so good with algorithms and computers and getting the essentials out of everything that they just do it. They're like this third party. But you got to see this guy, Alex Karp. He is, I'll put it this way, he, to me, comes off as a hippie Dr. Strangelove. This dude is dangerous. I'm telling you,
Is he on YouTube? I'll find him.
You'll find he is, and I have friends who work for that company.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, this company, you got to look into it.
Sounds like Dick Cheney's old operation. It started with an H. What was the name?
Halliburton.
Thank you.
This is much more than that. You know what?
Yeah, Halliburton wasn't a tech company.
And this guy goes around, and he looks like a hippie, and he's like, yeah, sometimes we got to kill people. That's the way it is. Get over it. I mean, he's really, these computer algorithms, whatever, for everything and efficiencies, this guy is intense. I'm telling you, he is the hippie Dr. Strangelove. You really gotta watch some stuff about this guy. He has so much power. He comes out of with Peter Thiel and Elon Musk. Elon Musk and Peter Thiel started PayPal, and then it was Peter Thiel and this guy started Palantir, or the company before Palantir. And you really got to look at what these guys are doing, man. I'll tell you what's really frightening to me is they're getting contracts everywhere. So IRS, all the military stuff. And when you think about AI 15 or 20 years from now.
And all the data that it has.
Well, beyond that, if AI is ever going to be able to take over in our most nightmarish kind of way, it'll be easier because everything will be on one system from one company.
I'm a little like Senator John Kennedy was talking about. He introduced a piece of legislation requiring Social Security to tell the other federal agencies someone died.
Yeah.
They've compiled that information from the states for decades.
And they don't give it back.
And they don't share it.
Yes.
And so all of these agencies that pay benefit checks to people are never notified of the death. So
right.
Now it's law.
And if they put it back, I almost guarantee it will be Palantir that runs the system.
I'm sure that's already building the pathway.
Senator John Kennedy, this is what you wanted to be done. And
well, as long as the computers are running to make sure there's efficiency in government, that's a good thing. But I don't want them controlling the drones like in Terminator.
You have to end it with Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas, I happen to have here 10 million Social Security numbers.
This guy likes PAL in all of his names, too. I just realized that PayPal and then Palantir.
Palantir, because for this documentary that I watched, it's because it's some kind of stone
crystal
in
ball.
the crystal ball in Lord of the Rings. And what is It allows you to.
It allows Sauron or the guy, the gray wizard, to see people, and he can see things going on. And
it's known as dangerous, a dangerous power to have. And that's where we are, Bill. We've got these. Oh, my favorite book is Lord of the Rings. So hey, let's go kill everybody. All right, what's next, Jared?
Well, so earlier this week, we knew that Marjorie Taylor Greene had a big town hall here in Georgia, and protesters were stun-gunned by law enforcement at this town hall. And I'm just curious what Bill's takeaway was on this.
So, as we understand it, Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene had a town hall with 30 Ackworth Police Department officers present. That has to be pretty much the entire police force in Ackworth, Georgia, and that should have kind of been a signal of where things were headed. She did have a protest area organized, which I thought was a good choice, across the street. Rich McCormick is another congressman from Georgia in the 6th District. A doctor had a town hall a month or so ago in Alpharetta, and it didn't go well. And the Speaker and RNC have suggested the members wait, give President Trump 6 months, don't have town halls. And she basically said,
yeah,
I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So she opened up the town hall, and almost immediately 9 protesters sort of started moving towards the podium and shouting. And so 6 were just escorted out. 3 got belligerent. They maybe...
I saw a picture of one choking a cop.
And then got physical with a police officer.
Choke a cop, you're going to get tased.
You're going to get tased. Now, would I have recommended that path? No, but when you're making that choice with a police officer, you're either going to get billy clubbed or tased. And if I have to pick, having been billy clubbed, I'm going to go with the taser.
Yeah, it hurts, but it's over.
Yeah, it wears off. I got a little minor concussion. So I think we need to, our leaders, and I'm talking to the Congresswoman now, set the tone, and if at the beginning of the meeting she'd say, I know there are some of you here who don't like me. I know that some of you here hate me, and you don't like Donald Trump, and you have every right to be here, whether you're a constituent of mine or just a Georgian who showed up in the room. But let's be civil.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why I'm doing, what I believe in, including the president, and then you tell me. Let's have a civil dialogue.
But would they have listened? Because
I'm not sure. Some of those people look like they may have been
it's all
performative and activists, and they still would have done what they did. But when you have 30 police officers in the room, you know that's not going to last very long. So you're doing it for the TikTok video. It's certainly not going to change her mind. And I do think she made a mistake when they were literally dragging him out of the room to say, get out of here, just like those illegal aliens. Get out, get out.
It's all performance.
But surely she knew. They had to have known there were going to be...
Don't call him Shirley.
Well, I apologize.
Shirley. Trying to do my Leslie Nielsen. Shirley.
They had to have known that there were going to be people coming to this town hall that didn't agree with her.
You had to pay to get in.
So part of it...
I liked it. I wanted the spectacle of kicking him out.
I think you did.
I'm sorry we didn't get to see her go jump over the podium and
part of me thinks
I was ready. I was CrossFit.
She wanted to get the headlines. Part of me thinks that she
does feed on that. She fundraises off that. There are 80 people in the room. Most
it was
of the
a
crowd
secret
supportive.
location up until about an hour before it happened, and you had to pay to get in. So those protesters had to pay to get in.
I do work for Stone Mountain
Suckers.
Park. They've been a great client. They've been a great client for a long time. Periodically, paid protesters will show up there, usually burning a Confederate flag or something, to get a response.
Right.
And so
I think the whole thing is performative. I think it's performative on her part. It's performative on their part. That's one of the many things that's wrong with our politics. There's always performance in politics.
Yes,
but
there's a way to
performative.
try to set the tone. And so the Georgia Municipal Association has a great program called Cities of Civility, and about 200 cities in Georgia have adopted it. And it's to the audience and for the electeds how we're going to conduct these meetings. And it doesn't always work out, but it's a step in the right direction.
It's a trying.
Yeah.
I wish that they would actually have a real town hall with her and actually ask her real questions, though, because it just seems to me that both of them are trying to get headlines out of it, but not for the right reasons. Not her policies.
Excuse me, the right reason is power.
Yeah, a compromise might be doing a virtual town hall where she does something on Facebook or another medium or just a large Zoom.
But what would be nice, I think, is the purpose of leadership is to lead. And then if you lead by example by saying, like, I'm here to have a civil, discussion or open dialogue with people. And then if they want to get out of hand, then
they look
go
the fool.
against the boundaries that I've set, then you get to leave. I don't get to then, like, yeah, get out of here, you guy.
That's brilliant, Autumn.
That's not leading.
I'm agreeing with you 100%.
It's some of the problem is us, though. Remember that they're performing for voters. So if voters don't refuse to respond to that sort of stuff, then it goes away. So let's not let the citizen off the hook.
Let's just hope that Brian Kemp doesn't run for that U.S. Senate seat, and Marjorie Taylor Greene will. And that will get her out of Congress.
I guarantee you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, if she could have it her way, if she could have the shot in the AJC of her holding a people's elbow on one of those protesters, she would eat it up. She would eat it up, and she'd love it.
Well, of course, because I've told you, politics is about upping the subs on your social media now more than actually leading.
I got him.
Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 85 in Duluth.
Yeah, watching this crash on the Jam Cam, 85 southbound Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. It's been in 2 left lanes. They're moving it to just work in that HOT lane, the express lane there, but it's got you jammed up from Sugarloaf Parkway. Once you get past that, 85 southbound looks great till you get inside the perimeter. Travel advisory number 2, 85 southbound Claremont Road, exit 91. Crash in a couple of right lanes there. You're slow back to Shallowford Road. You can use the access road or Beaufort Highway. And we just picked up a crash in the left lane over on the west side inner loop, 285 northbound South Cobb Drive, exit number 15. How are things looking through Midtown and downtown, Sydney Darden?
Unfortunately, the delays are just as bad. 75, 85 southbound, a really rough ride through Midtown. If you're coming from the east side, you're going to start on those brakes as soon as you merge on from Georgia 400. Now, going back to the downtown connector, really going to be slow southbound until you get to I-20 on the opposite side. 85 northbound, still feeling the pinch around exit 244 to University Avenue all the way until you get to Midtown. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, Taxman got you down?
How about a $1,000 pickup?
Win $1,000. 5 different keywords. 5 chances every weekday.
I just won $1,000 on WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Beginning Monday, April 21st.
Download the WSB app. Rules and info at WSBRadio.com/cash.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save more with our weekly digital deals. Select boxes of Nabisco Ritz crackers are only $1.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid not just once, but twice. It's possible with Orchard. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket. That lets you snag your dream home now. While you're settling in, Orchard experts are hard at work preparing and marketing your old home, taking care of repairs, showings, even adding price-boosting upgrades. Why choose Orchard? Because when your home sells for more, like it does 9 times out of 10, you get that extra cash too. It's like getting paid twice. Orchard unlocks cash from your old home for your new one. That's payday number 1. You buy your new place, and Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. Boom! Payday number 2. Ready to make it happen? Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Believe me, warmer weather is coming, and now is the time to upgrade your deck or add to your outdoor living space. Dave Baker here. My friends at Ben Hill Renovations are experts at creating decks of all shapes and sizes. They've been doing it for over 60 years, and now is the perfect time to schedule a free at-home deck consultation at bhrenovations.com to get that new deck ready for warmer weather. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964. bhrenovations.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Jason Hansen, a former CIA officer. In these uncertain times, with rising geopolitical tensions and skyrocketing inflation, protecting your financial future is crucial. That's why I trust Advantage Gold for all my precious metal investments. They're the only company I buy from, period. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide to see exactly how gold can safeguard your wealth. Again, call 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Wow, that guy talked really fast. I wish I
I saw our future president up there on TV.
Well, yeah, Chris Van Hollen, CNN, they were on him for like an hour. His speech
like him.
and his press. This is day one for it. That's the opening of his 2028
Senator Deep State
presidential run. Tim looked him up. Dad was in the CIA.
His mom was in the CIA. Dad's State Department. He was born in Pakistan.
Because his dad was a diplomat.
Yep.
So,
Dual citizenship.
So I think you see what he's saying. To me, I just see it as just another nepo baby.
Another Washingtonian.
Nothing nepo baby.
Insider.
Yeah, that's right. But listen, you got to look at it objectively. I didn't hear any. Now here's Chuck Todd to tell us how great he looked and how good it was. But he looked like he was doing a good job. But this is how you know people are running for president. Is the first time you see them in their first major moment. They don't wear a tie.
And they do commentary afterwards.
Yeah, but they don't. The candidate doesn't wear a tie because that says to I'm
one of you.
I'm working. Next thing you know, the coat will be off and
rolling up
those sleeves.
Here's a Bud Light getting down to work.
I think he looks at what AOC and Bernie are doing and knows that's the wrong way to go. So
see, I think Bernie's running. I think he's seeing what happened with Trump.
I think he'll
and Biden.
run again, but he's too old.
Yeah,
he's too old. He's too old.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing.
He's
but then he looks at Trump though, and Trump.
Now,
will
he
be
is mentally sharp.
Yeah.
I've done 2 events with him this year at Morehouse School of Medicine, but he's starting to get frail. He had a little trouble getting up on stage.
Trump?
No.
Oh, Bernie Sanders.
Well, he's 83.
I know.
Yeah.
And so in 2 years from now, he'll be 85.
But at the same time, Trump will be 82.
I'm not. Trump's too old.
I know.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I am agreeing with you
All right.
that they all need to get out in another generation. But inside of Bernie's mind, he's looking at, well, Trump, he's president now, and he's, why
he
should I
has a
step
following
aside?
too because of the issues he espouses, and he's still kind of on it when he talks.
I think he's let a lot of the left down because he allowed Hillary to kind of do her shenanigans, and we now know that there was a lot of shenanigans.
Well, he also
before
was
that convention.
among the first to agree to step aside when President Obama started making his phone calls and saying,
Yeah. So I think
stand down, get out of Joe's way.
The hardcore leftists, I think a lot of them feel really let down by him. But, maybe you can get
he's
him
a
back.
millionaire now because of it.
I'm going to keep getting rich.
How many houses now, Bernie?
7.
And technically, Bernie's on the hook because, last weekend he went to Coachella, and Coachella repeats the lineup on both weekends.
I'll be there again.
Are you going to show back?
He has to show up again at the exact same slot.
I'm telling you, the OnlyFans influence intent was the best one.
This is a complete show.
That's Coachella. S show. All right, Bill Crane, my hero. Well, we have 1 chemo down, 11 to go.
11 to go.
All right, man.
I'm hanging in there.
Love you, dude. You are, absolutely. Bill Crane, we'll see you next week.
Take
Have
care.
a great weekend.
You too.
Alex,
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in Cobb.
Yeah, it's blocking the left lane, 285 and northbound. The inner loop, South Cobb Drive, exit 15. You're starting to slow back toward Bolton Road and Hollowell Parkway. On the other side, 285 southbound, we're seeing a few delays leaving the Truist Park region through Smyrna Vinings down to I-20, the West Freeway. Checking on new trouble on the south side. Be about the third crash of the day in the same spot, 85 northbound before I-285, exit 68. As delays get worse in Union City, use Highway 29. We've also been watching a few trouble spots on I-85 in Gwinnett County. Sydney Darden.
Yeah, one of them getting a little bit better. A travel advisory, I-85 southbound, right near Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104, was blocking several lanes. Now just blocking the HOT lane, and then another stalled vehicle. I-85 northbound near Lawrenceville Suwanee. That's also affecting a lane as you make your way through Gwinnett County. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Dave Baker here for Coolray. You know that Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical always has your back, right? Well, right now, Coolray's offering an AC tune-up for just $79.99. Hey, that's a great deal. You can stay ahead of the heat that's coming our way and get your HVAC system in tip-top shape. But maybe your system needs more than just a tune-up this year. Maybe this is the year your AC needs to be replaced. I had mine replaced last year because it was old and inefficient. But good news again, not only can you receive up to $2,250 back in rebates when you purchase a new complete Carrier HVAC system from Coolray, but they will also upgrade your attic installation for free. Imagine the home comfort you'll feel. And Coolray has those sweet Carrier home comfort systems, the ones that come with a lifetime parts and labor warranty, on hand and ready for same day or next day installation. Keep your house cool this summer. Simply go to Coolray.com and set up your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer for virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top local story. A South Fulton police officer fighting for his life.
We're praying for Lieutenant Cook in his full recovery.
Another officer has minor injuries after a shootout on Fulton Industrial Boulevard with a jaywalker.
What the man was doing in the street near the hotel at 4120 Fulton Industrial is part of the probe after gunfire left that man dead and 2 cops hurt. City of South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says one of his lieutenants, Charles Cook, had barely pulled up to assist a Fulton County policeman there when it got violent fast.
This officer just simply pulled up on an individual that was jaywalking to have a conversation with him, and the individual opened fire on both police officers. Things can change in an instant.
Chief Meadows says the Fulton County officer told him if it wasn't for Lieutenant Cook, he doesn't know if he'd be alive right now. At Grady Hospital in Atlanta, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It's been a difficult week for the South Fulton Police Department. Governor Kemp is ordering flags at the state capitol and in Fulton County to fly at half-staff Monday in honor of a South Fulton officer killed in the line of duty. Lieutenant Helio Garcia was driving his department vehicle on Flat Shoals Road when another vehicle veered into his lane and struck him head-on earlier this week. He was one of the original officers with the South Fulton Police Department. It is 84 degrees in Atlanta, topping out in the mid to upper 80s this weekend. When do rain chances return? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. We are learning more today about the shooting at Florida State University. The 2 people killed are identified as campus dining employees. The suspected shooter, 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, remains in the hospital with significant injuries, but Police Chief Lawrence Revel says Eichner will go straight to jail once he's released.
He'll be taken to a local detention facility where he will face the charges up to and including first-degree murder.
All 6 people injured in the shooting at Florida State are expected to fully recover. Emergency surgeon Brett Howard says 3 of the victims underwent surgery.
Those were gunshot wounds to extremities, chest, abdomen, all in rather stable condition.
Police say at this point they found no connection between the suspect and any of the victims. A symbol of peace goes up at Appalachia High School tomorrow, 7 months after the shooting that left 4 people dead. Here's a report all new at 5 o'clock.
The installation of the Peace Pole coincides with the school's 25th anniversary, with more than 400,000 of these markers around the globe. North Cobb Rotary member Jeff Bass says this decision came easy.
When it came to time for where was the most challenging area in Georgia and who could use peace the most, we thought of Appalachia High School.
Bass says the 8-foot pole is inscribed with the words "May peace prevail on earth" in 3 relevant languages: English, Spanish, and Cherokee. The ceremony will be followed by a lunch for the community. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A new attempt by Gwinnett County Police to solve a cold case involving a toddler who's been missing since 2005.
Marissa Velasco would now be around 20 years old. Gwinnett Police Corporal Ryan Winterweedle says investigators believe she was kidnapped by her biological mother during a court-approved unsupervised visit.
Somebody from a battered women's shelter where she was staying at drove them to a clinic, and Marissa and her mother were never seen from again.
Marissa had been in DFAC's custody because it was deemed her mom, Rena Velasco, and the mom's boyfriend, Vidal Cruz, posed a danger to the child. Anyone with information in the case is asked to call Gwinnett County Police or Crime Stoppers. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Police are releasing age progression pictures of Marissa, and you can see those pictures at WSBradio.com. An Easter tradition continues in Metro Atlanta as thousands trek to the top of Stone Mountain Sunday for the annual sunrise service.
They're coming from all over, from churches all over, from people that aren't in churches as well, but want to celebrate Easter morning.
Bryant Wright, pastor of Right from the Heart Ministries, will be part of the Stone Mountain service. Gates open at 3 a.m. with sky rides to the top of the mountain to watch the sunrise service, which begins at 7 a.m. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Big mess on the south side, Bill. Car fire, I-85 northbound at I-285, exit number 68, or just before that exit right now. I'm seeing no traffic coming north from Union City, the Flat Shoals area. That means if you're coming up from Fairburn and hearing this, I would jump over and use Highway 29 as your alternate. Elsewhere, crash on 285 north, the inner loop in Cobb County. It's South Cobb Drive, exit 15. That's still in the left lane. That's causing the brake lights as you leave Hollowell Parkway. Downtown, it's all brake lights. Southbound from the 85-400 merge to I-20. Northbound stacked in Langford Parkway up past Freedom Parkway. Also, a few crashes and spots we've been watching on I-85 in Gwinnett County. Sydney Darden.
Yeah, that crash, I-85 southbound just past Pleasant Hill Road. It's still blocking the HOT lane and causing you some severe backups as you make your way through Gwinnett County. So just hop on Satellite Boulevard or Buford Highway instead. And speaking of delays, we still got word of a stalled vehicle, I-85 northbound near Highway 317, Lawrenceville Swanee, exit 111. That's still sitting in the right lane, causing you delays. I'm from the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta, here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies this evening, sunset around 8 o'clock. Temperatures still in the upper 70s to low 80s, but cooling into the low 60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, high 86. Easter Sunday, sunrise around 7 a.m. Temperatures will be in the low 60s at that time, then heating up to a high of 87 through the afternoon. Clouds return on Monday with an isolated rain shower, high 85. Tuesday, scattered rain showers, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
81 in Decatur, 84 in Marietta, 82 in Hampton. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Haessler Doctrine. That's right, Caiaccio. Hour 3 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. Well, I know that we're having some kind of rocky times with our economy, but apparently we're still going to spend more on Easter than we did last year.
That's right.
Consumers to spend $23.6 billion on Easter. That's a lot of plastic grass.
I was at Target and I was buying some Easter shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what am I doing? What is this, their birthday? Like, what am I buying them? Like a water bottle and a little toy? It's like, what is this?
Yeah,
I should throw some jelly beans at them and say, hold your clothes, leave me alone.
Aren't they too old for candy now?
No, he's 8. They're
too old for candy.
8
Might be too old to say the Easter Bunny brought this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what you do, I think, is a lot of jelly beans, one very large chocolate rabbit, and some kind of fun and games, like go find the eggs in the backyard.
Yeah, we're going to do the hide the eggs and have them
I
search
negotiated for comic books when I was 11. I said, listen, Grandma, I'm too old for an Easter basket. I get that.
Mhm.
How about 2 subscriptions to comic books? And it worked.
And you told her exactly the ones, because she's going to get the wrong ones.
Yeah, of course. I had the thing all filled out.
What was interesting in that
I shoplifted those.
They were known for they were known for a lot of things, but the comics were one part of what they were known. Yeah.
Funny jokes.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that amount that we're going to spend on Easter this year is you also find out in that article that apparently when people bite into their chocolate bunnies, they start at the ears first. I think that's crazy. I always eat the feet first. I always start at the feet. I start at the feet and work my way up.
You guys are nuts.
Start in the middle.
Aren't they usually like, I don't know that I've had them. I guess they do have feet, but it just seems like a base.
Yeah.
Because they're like crouching down.
Yeah. So
Why don't you start at the feet?
I start down there.
You're a freak. You're a freak. Of course you start. You
Which
nibble
side
on
do you start on? Give us a call.
404, blah, blah, blah. Let's do this.
It's time to go down by law with George Stein.
There he is. He doesn't have the tie, but he does have the suit coat, which tells me he's had some work today. There's no court. Is there a court? It's a holiday.
They're kind of religious for some reason today.
Yeah, so but you got the coat. So that says to me that you were doing some kind of professional lawyer.
Well,
reading.
yes, I was seeing people today, and plus I always keep in mind the frigid temperatures you keep the studios.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, as long as people know, you're only here for an hour. I've got to do it for 4. And
The best is when Shelley Winter comes in after the show and he immediately goes to the thermostat, just puts it all the way on the hottest temperature possible.
Yeah, so that's the great thing about WSB. We have wildly different talk show hosts who come from different points of view. I keep it like a cooler in here, and he keeps it like a sauna. But that's what it's all about, and that's why you get different divergent points of view and everything on WSB. George Stein, how in the week in justice? We had a good week in justice?
It was productive. It was a little slower than normal because this time of year people are out of town, but got some good stuff done.
Yeah, when Easter comes, this is considered a later Easter, right? So when it comes this close to spring break, you get a couple weeks of kind of
That's right.
As far as stuff going on. So you enjoying yourself? You're going to have a good Easter weekend? You got stuff planned? You're going to be gathering eggs somewhere? I mean, I never liked the eggs.
Yeah, no. I remember the old days when my kids were young, and they used to have like an Easter egg hunt, but they only had one golden egg.
Oh, so everybody walks away. One kid's happy.
Yeah, so, and I remember my daughter found that one golden egg out of like 50 kids, and some little boy stole it from her.
Oh, what a jerk.
Well, you should have taken him to court. You would have won.
Yeah.
All right, George is here to walk us through the legal underpinnings of some of the big stories and current events going on. I'm just guessing. I haven't seen. I didn't do a lot of prep today. A lot of this is coming to you from Jared Yamamoto because I had things to do in the morning. But I'm guessing that there's at least one concerning Trump.
Oh, well, I figured since we just talked with Bill Crane that we would
Right.
come back to Trump at the bottom of the hour.
All
That's
right.
okay. Just
Okay.
give
Is
you
that
Trump.
okay?
Is that okay, Mr.
Is that
President?
Well, I love George.
Yeah. And you know what? We got Diet Cokes in the break room.
Do I got to pay?
Of course you don't have to pay. You're the president of the United
All right,
States.
I'll be right back.
No button here, though, for you. Sorry about that.
I don't care.
You have to go walk over there and get it.
Fine.
Our first legal story comes from Desert News. Congress opens.
So this is news about deserts?
That's right. News about the desert.
I used to subscribe to Dessert News. I didn't know that.
See, it's confusing.
It is confusing. I get Desert News and Dessert News. Are there any recipes in Desert News?
There's not.
Unfortunately, I'm going to stick with my.
The editor's name is Sandy.
Sandy. All right.
Congress is opening an investigation into 23andMe after their bankruptcy raises some data privacy concerns. So Congress is getting involved. That's the latest update with that.
Now, what I thought, George, was they were, as they went through the bankruptcy, could they use their data as an asset and sell that to other companies? And I thought that was the issue. But are there even deeper issues, like they may have done stuff with this data that they shouldn't have done?
Well, there's some of that because they've apparently been a little loose and sloppy with it along the way. That's one of the problems with the company, and that's probably part of their demise. But the other issue is listen, they have millions and millions of people's data,
biological
DNA data.
Yeah.
And the question is who's going to try to hack into it, or is it going to be the Chinese government or somebody else that's considered not too trustworthy with that data? And so they want to have some protocols to during this downsizing.
Could they ever be told to destroy it?
That's a good question.
Because they're going bankrupt, and if I gave my DNA data,
your spit,
my spit. If I gave my spit, I'm not. I want to know. It would never interested me. I don't care. I don't care about 100 years ago who was. I just don't care. Buy a hat because somebody. You remember that commercial for 23andMe? The lady buys a hat and she finds out that she's.
My great uncle was a detective, so I know why I ask questions.
Yeah,
my grandpa was a German general.
No. We don't. That's why people like me.
Whoopsie-daisy.
See, when your name is Von Hessler, you don't want to look. You just don't want to look.
Half a century of forget it.
But there's more. But they got into an area more than that, because they got into where they would help you with your health issues. I think some people gave more information to them willingly so that they could match that to the DNA and maybe be able to say, hey, you've got a high percentage chance of X disease in your 60s. They were doing stuff like that to where they would know even more. So it seems to me, if the contract was between me and 23andMe, then if they go away, the data, can't they just destroy it?
Well, they could. The question is, does the court have the authority to say, hey, you have to destroy it, versus you better follow certain protocols, safety protocols, to keep it private, and so that nobody who shouldn't get it gets it.
It doesn't matter. AI's taking over. We're all screwed. Doesn't matter.
Now,
honestly, I'm just being honest with you. That's, all of our data is out there. Come on. And China's got all of our data, and the United States has all of China's data. It's all out there. I guarantee you.
Tina went through 23andMe and
found out she was not Greek
and deleted her data, and of course it sent this notification saying, "Oh, everything's good, you're clear." But something tells me it's still
someone has it.
Somebody has
they
it.
tell you delete your email. You really think it's gone?
Yeah, it goes somewhere.
It goes somewhere. It's still out there. It's still out there.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said, at least your heart's in the right place.
I think. How about
deleting your
learn a
data.
lesson? Don't give your DNA information to these tech weirdos.
Give it to Ancestry.
To businesses.
Anybody. I mean, these man, I'm concentrating more and more on these tech people. They are freaks, and they're in charge of everything. The future looks bright. Alex Williams says there's a red alert on 85 in Union City.
Yeah, nasty crash and car fire here where a car ran off the roadway into the woods. That's where it caught fire. I-85 and northbound. Before I-285 exit 68, just north of Flat Shoals exit 66. No traffic is coming through. It is completely shut down. It's also causing southbound onlooker delays. Use Highway 29 as an alternate. Elsewhere, we're seeing a big jam fill up into DeKalb County, 285 east and northbound from Boulder Crest Road. Trying to see if there's anything new blocking lanes just north of I-20 exit 46 there in DeKalb County. Earlier crash, 85 southbound Claremont Road, exit 91. That has cleared, and so have the delays. How are the trouble spots we've been watching on I-85 in Gwinnett County? Sydney Darden.
Well, a little bit of better news. I-85 southbound, that crash near Pleasant Hill, exit 104, now cleared completely as well. Delays improving steadily. If you're still concerned, you could probably hop on Satellite Boulevard for the next few minutes. Elsewhere, though, we are still dealing with that stalled vehicle sitting in a right lane, I-85 northbound, right near exit 111 to get off at Highway 317. This report is sponsored by Wendy's, a $5 Biggie Bag. The Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is the best deal in fast food for a lot of reasons, some of which include the JBC 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Tomorrow on the Nightcap with Jared Yamamoto. You know I'm typically the biggest cheerleader for Gen Z and my fellow millennials, but this week, it's not the case. Gen Z is claiming that being frugal is cool now, aka they can't afford things. This is not a good economic indicator, and I plan to explain why and cover the news of the night tomorrow night from 11 to midnight on my Nightcap. Brought to you by Guardian Home Experts, Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, USDA Choice Bone-In Ribeye Roast is on sale for only $8.97 a pound with your digital coupon. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
A good run.
You hold on to that
Where,
stuff, too.
Ohio, the chip on the shoulder, pal. You write in the newspaper, Von Hessler had a good run. Yeah, the guy who said that. Not in radio anymore. And I'm not talking about my ex-partner. I'm talking about people that I used to work for.
Make your haters your motivators.
Go in the newspaper and say, he had a good run. Oh, really? I'm still in radio. Where are you? Yeah, the guy I'm talking about, I can't say his name.
Rolling in money.
Well, I know that. I can't say his name because he's got 9,352 lawyers. Not George Stein. But
Dale Clear Channel.
But let me just say, if you're gonna say that in the newspaper, he had a good run. What's he got to complain about? Well, he's still on radio. And I am not talking about my friend Larry. I'm talking about other people much higher up on the chain. I don't know why I'm saying this. We were just having a conversation as we came back. And I just sort of carried it over.
The off-air conversation carries on air.
All right. What do we have next for George Stein when it comes to legalistic kinds of things in the news?
I think this is your favorite legal site here. This is the Smoking Gun. Are you familiar with Kinky Kelly from OnlyFans?
No.
So with K's, by the way.
I'm sorry, what again? Huh?
Kinky Kelly.
No. I of course not. No, I can't. No.
Kelly Tedford.
Never heard.
Kinky
By the
Friedman?
way, but no, he died unfortunately. Hey, is this if it's Smoking Gun? I can almost guarantee this happened in the state of Florida.
It did not happen in the state of Florida this time. No, this is in New Hampshire.
I said almost. Don't hold me to.
So she's 24 years old, this Kelly Tedford.
And she's what? Having sex with the moon or something?
A little bit, I guess a little nastier than that. She said that this OnlyFans model was recently arrested for spraying her,
now which one? One or two?
Her number one.
Okay.
On more than $1,500 worth of merchandise at a New Hampshire grocery store. And they've just found out that she's done it on other things too, like a air conditioning unit and a comforter, blankets, and even some other things as well.
Give her some credit just to be able to do that on will. Like, okay, here we are. All right, go.
Yeah, just
give her some
spray.
Autumn and I bring this up quite often. This is Imp of the Perverse, or was she filming herself and this was part of her act?
I believe she was filming herself.
Yes. She did Upper Deckers too in hotel room.
Yeah, she did that. Yes.
Oh, that's sexy. Wow, that's sexy.
Hey, Kinky Kelly,
this country.
She's got to live up to the name.
I'm telling you, people.
I don't think she's
out of control.
She's not a graduate of finishing school.
Yeah.
But well,
she did
that money.
She did finish before she got off the top of that toilet.
Woo! So she's been charged with malicious mischief. That's
malicious mischief.
That's right. That's kind of like the catch-all bad behavior thing that happens.
I want that to be like
statutory law.
It's going to be my new handle, @malicious mischief.
So
Von Hessler.
Better than Kinky Kelly. She should take that.
Kinky Kelly.
Yeah, I'd love to go to court and see that sentencing hearing.
So people, we'll get to the law in just a second here, but so people like to tune in to watch somebody go to the bathroom on various things.
Yes.
I could just put a camera on my dog. He goes to the bathroom on a lot of things.
Oh, I thought the camera would. Okay, I got that the wrong way. I was like, you let your dog in the bathroom? That's disgusting.
I pee on my dog. Listen, they're in the animal kingdom. They're dogs.
I know. I stopped. I had to dump that. All right, next.
Oh.
It's I try to teach you, Autumn, the action of
So yes, malicious mischief.
Oh,
and I
sorry.
think she's in trouble, and she's going to be sentenced. And it looks like she's going to be put on probation, so she stops this nasty behavior.
Community service.
And so people,
Yes.
this was part of her OnlyFans thing. This is what you would get these videos.
Yeah, this is what she did. So again, she had done it on an AC unit.
I don't need to know the particulars. Can you
AC unit?
Can you let?
That's my fetish.
Can you let? I mean, I hate to give advice to criminals. It just seems like the wrong way to go. But I think good advice is don't record yourself breaking the law and then put that out in public spaces. That doesn't seem to be very smart.
No, that's true. That's true. And, during a sentencing hearing, they always ask the prosecutor, the judge asks, what are the facts of the case? I'd love to be there for this one.
Yes.
Would you represent her, George?
Maybe.
Well, hey, listen, everybody deserves their day in
Kinky
court.
Kelly needs her help.
Well, she's probably a millionaire. Alex Williams says there's a red alert on 85 in Union City.
Yeah, it's this crash and car fire we've been following on 85 northbound between Flat Shoals, exit 66, and 285, exit 68. No traffic has been getting by. I'm starting to see a few cars trickle through, so that makes me think they might have at least the left lane open, but bottom line, avoid it at all costs. You can use Highway 29 as your alternate. Everything 85 south at Pleasant Hill and Gwinnett County has cleared. Some lingering delays, though, through Duluth. Been watching a crash 285 in Cobb County, Sydney Darden.
And it just moved off to the shoulder. The last fire truck, I-285 northbound on the inner loop near exit 15 to South Cobb Drive, now moving off to the shoulder. All lanes back open after previously blocking that one left lane for some time now. That's going to really improve your delays as you are headed towards Cobb County. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Dave Baker here for Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Let's talk garage doors. Your garage door, is it too loud? Does it let outside air in around the frame? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta will make it all better this month only, and for only $79, they'll perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year anyway, so why not now and for just $79? Schedule now at overheaddooratlanta.com.
When my grandfather, Jim Ellis, started our business in 1971, he knew it would be difficult to please every customer. However, that didn't stop him from trying. Hi, I'm Stacy Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. For over 50 years, we've built our reputation on honesty, effort, and doing what's best for our customers. That means transparent pricing and a commitment to making your car buying experience quick, easy, and convenient. We work hard to help you find the right car at the right price with a shopping experience designed around you, whether you shop in person or online at jimellis.com. Are we perfect? No. Sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we hope. Maybe there's a miscommunication or an unforeseen hiccup. We get it. When that happens, we don't make excuses, we work to make it right. That's why last year we earned nearly 14,000 positive reviews from customers who trust us to do the right thing. When you're ready for your next vehicle, trust the name that's been doing right by customers for more than 50 years. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer from Virtual Imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Coming up from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, a Delta classical concert featuring an all-Italian program of Respighi, Paganini, and Bottesini. Explore Italia in Respighi's Pines of Rome and Fountains of Rome. And experience Italian sensation Giuseppe Gibbone perform Paganini's Violin Concerto No. 1. The program fans the flames with a concert opener by Bottesini, May 1st and 3rd at Symphony Hall. Details at aso.org.
You didn't choose to get in a wreck, but you can choose the best attorney. Trust the guys I trust, the strong arm, John Foy and Associates. Smiler Mark McKay here. They treat you with compassion and respect with zero upfront cost. If I got in a wreck, this would be my first call. JohnFoy.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by QC Kinetics. Our top local story, a South Fulton police officer is in critical condition after a shootout on Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
This officer just simply pulled up on an individual that was jaywalking to have a conversation with him. And it was at that point the individual opened fire on both police officers.
South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says Lieutenant Charles Cook was helping a Fulton County police officer who was also shot but has less serious injuries. The suspect is shot and killed in the exchange of gunfire. The GBI is now investigating. Earlier this week, South Fulton Police Officer Lieutenant Helio Garcia was killed in the line of duty when his patrol car was struck head-on by another vehicle. It is 85 degrees in Atlanta. Temperatures above average for Easter weekend. What about rain chances? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. 2 campus dining employees are identified as the victims of the Florida State University shooting. Robert Morales and another man were killed when a gunman opened fire. There's also an update today on the condition of the surviving shooting victims.
Police say as of right now, they've found no connection between the alleged suspect and any of the victims. 2 people were killed in the mass shooting. 5 others were injured and taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital.
Those were gunshot wounds to extremities, chest, abdomen.
Surgeon Brett Howard.
We do feel that all will make a full recovery. 2 of them are possibly going home today.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
A peace poll goes up tomorrow at Appalachia High School just 7 months after 4 people were killed in a shooting there.
When it came to time for where was the most challenging area in Georgia and who could use peace the most, we thought of Appalachia High School.
North Cobb Rotary member Jeff Bass says the 8-foot pole is inscribed with the words, "May peace prevail on earth." It's in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Cherokee. A serial rapist in DeKalb County will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
It was DNA evidence that helped convict 40-year-old Mario Terrell Kearney. He was convicted of raping a woman that he'd forced into his car outside a laundromat at gunpoint. He then drove her behind a building on Snapfinger Road where he forced her to take off her clothes and he raped her. DNA collected at the hospital matched Kearney to the crime. During the trial, prosecutors tied him to 3 other attacks. He was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole plus 5 years. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No one is hurt when a small plane makes an emergency landing today in a field in Cobb County. The pilot reported the plane was having fuel issues and decided to land in the field on Hiram Lithia Springs Road near the Paulding County line. Progress in efforts to make housing more affordable in Atlanta.
In 2024, Atlanta Housing President and CEO Terry Lee says they helped to provide 1,700 new affordable housing units in the city, and they plan to build on that success this year.
We're in a unique moment in time that we can address housing affordability and family self-sufficiency differently. And when I say differently, we can be just really intentional about making sure that there's a collective link between the two because they're not separate.
Lee says making sure families are secure is their mission. They will continue to focus on financial education and programs for young people and seniors. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It is the culmination of a big project for 4th graders at an Atlanta elementary school.
About 100 4th graders from Warren T. Jackson Elementary are releasing hundreds of fish into the Chattahoochee River.
Releasing trout that we grew from eggs. We're delivered about 2,000 eggs.
STEAM coordinator Sean Grismore says the kids do all the work to develop problem-solving skills.
Clean the water, clean the tank, feed the fish, check the pH and balance of the water twice a day, 5 days a week.
Next year, students will take the next step by designing filtration and water capturing systems to allow them to grow more fish for release. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's Superman's 87th birthday.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
The comic debuted April 18th, 1938. A new Superman movie is set to be released in July. It is now 5:34. This news sponsored by Findlay Roofing. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Big mess out of Fairburn into Union City, heading up to the airport. Bill, a crash, car fire cleanup. Only one lane is open. I think just a left lane, 85 northbound. Before I-285 exit 68. Heavy delays back before Highway 74 Sonoya Road, Highway 29 We'll get you around that. If you're traveling I-85 northbound out of DeKalb in Gwinnett County, on and off the brakes from 285 up toward Beaver Ruin Road, then a secondary slow zone from Sugarloaf Parkway up to I-985. And we've also been watching the afternoon slow commute through Midtown and downtown. Sydney Darden.
I'll say Midtown really, really rough, especially around 10th and 14th Street. Now, once you get to the top of the Grady curve, there is just a little bit relief, but pretty much stop and go until you get to I-20 again. You're going to be feeling the pinch around exit 224 to University Avenue, I-85 northbound as you make your way past I-20 and on towards Midtown. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies this evening, sunset around 8 o'clock. Temperatures still in the upper 70s to low 80s, but cooling into the low 60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, high 86. Easter Sunday, sunrise around 7 a.m. Temperatures will be in the low 60s at that time, then heating up to a high of 87 through the afternoon. Clouds return on Monday with an isolated rain shower, high 85. Tuesday, scattered rain showers, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
82 in Covington, 85 in Peachtree City, and 84 in Alpharetta. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Playing a game with your family, that's a lot of fun. Playing a game with your roof, you'll lose every time. Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. When it comes to replacing or repairing your roof, think of Findlay first. You'll always win with Findlay. They're the extra effort experts with high quality, highly rated roofing experience and expertise. They've replaced over 65,000 roofs locally. With Findlay, manners matter. With Findlay, you get upfront pricing, exceptional service, and they'll treat your home like it's their own. Win, win, win. Only Findlay Roofing stands behind their work with a lifetime leak-free warranty at no additional cost, and you'll pay nothing until the job is complete. Findlay Roofing is the perfect match for any roofing issues. Plus, they offer 0% financing. Get started with a free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com. Roof.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Motorcycle riders are a different breed and they need a different type of attorney. SteelHorseLaw.com.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home for maximum value. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home stress-free, make the most money, and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Hey, by the way, I don't know, did you hear about this, George? The viral claim that people went missing in Atlanta after job interviews? And apparently,
so bizarre.
What was it? What's behind? Is it Sandy Springs where it was happening mostly?
Yeah, people would go in for a job interview.
This is the story.
And then they'd be like, "What happened to Charles? Or what happened to Tim? What happened to Autumn?
Got the job."
So did somebody? So did somebody just start this goof to gaslight people?
Exactly.
I guess? All right.
Yeah, it's fake.
And then people believed it. Yeah, it's been going on for years now.
Haven't
Everybody
heard from
goes
Jim
in for
2 weeks.
Yeah, well, he went to. The cops couldn't put the pattern together. It was too. People are dumb. Well, we knew that already. Next story for George Stein.
All right, I promised that we would get back to Trump now, and there are a lot of legal stories, obviously, with him, but here's something that you probably did not know about. Offshore wind is likely to become the next legal battleground for Donald Trump. This is happening in New York.
Offshore Wind was one of the best prog rock bands of the 1970s.
I'm going to name my boat that.
Offshore Wind.
No guitarist.
Oh, it was just keyboard. I think they had 7
just
keyboards.
All keyboards.
Yeah. It was. And somebody on like a telephone thing. It was it was great shows, So why is this going to be the showdown? I guess George will tell us.
Well, I guess Trump doesn't like, wind generation.
He hates it. He loves
kills
the bird.
all the birds.
He kills all the and it turns out that if you really look into the economics of it, it's absurd. It doesn't. It doesn't help. And those things, the amount of carbon that it takes to create one of these things is insane. And so it's kind of a stupid thing.
Well, apparently he's barred future lease deals. He's trying to cut them off. He doesn't like it.
Right. Now the question is, can he do this, or is he supposed to go through Congress? Was it something?
I think he can. I mean, I think the genie's out of the bottle. That it's not a very good investment, and so that might sort of take care of itself.
Because they rot too, so they have to be maintained all the time.
Yeah, I think it might have been part of that Green New Deal whole package.
That AOC, good work.
And so,
oh my gosh, thank you.
Trump is contending that Biden rushed the approval too much on these leases, and therefore it's not a good venture. It's not safe.
As we can see from Donald Trump, he hates when presidents rush things.
I don't like it. I mean, you've got to do a lot of studies, and you have to take time, and you got to do double check everything.
But these things can't be recycled, so they have to be buried or they put into the ocean to be reefs or whatever.
Of course, they're terrible. They're terrible. They don't do what they're supposed to do. They're not a good idea.
This is Trump back in 2017 talking about the windmills.
If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. Your house just went down 75% in value. And they say the noise causes cancer. You told me that one, okay?
Well, he was in comedy. He was like Netflix special mode on that one.
I'm a lot tireder now.
Yeah, you're a little bit older now.
Couldn't do Kill Tony now, but then yes. I can't even do that. Ready?
Is that the noise?
That's the noise of the windmills.
Hey,
but he's been consistent. He's been on this since again.
We're starting to get pushback from the audience, making fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene and making fun of Trump and stuff like that. And so I want to ask you, Trump, can we, as you're kicking all these people out of the country, could you kick the humorless out? People without a sense of humor? Can we just get them?
Can I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
All right. I had dinner with Bill Maher a couple of weeks ago.
I understand.
He and I, have always said bad things about each other. So he came in with a list of printed out things that I had said about him over the years. Loser, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I signed it. And now we're buddies.
What do you mean, you signed it? Oh, you said as an
I autographed it. I gave it back to him. And you know what? He said bad things about me. I've said bad things about him. But you know what? It's a new era.
I think it'll all be temporary. Yeah. 3 months, something else will happen, and you'll be both back to hating each other. But it's like
that long, huh?
Politics in America is like wrestling. So it's a heel turn, a baby face turn, heel turn. That's basically what we're in.
I'm giving him a push.
You give him a push. Give him a push. All right. Have we resolved that one?
I think the biggest thing to take away from the windmill story is that along with all of the other legal cases, we're going to have yet another thing to add.
Oh, buddy, we're just getting started.
For Trump, it's got to be, I'm sorry, he's got to be tired. He has to be tired.
Are you tired? No, you're not tired. Come on,
really?
kid.
I just had my health thing the other day, and I get the adrenaline shot every day.
Yeah, fit as a fiddle.
Fit as a fiddle, and
you don't get adrenaline shots. I understand they're actually Diet Coke shots. Intravenously.
They synthesize the adrenaline out of the Diet Coke, and they put it in my arm every single day.
Sam Andrews, I love that you've picked up on the slow down.
I know, you're not sounding like this anymore.
If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. Your house just went down 75% in value.
Let's hear that now. Let's hear that.
If you have a windmill near your house, it's gone down in 70% of its value.
He's got that, it's the spit or something.
No, it's the old
teeth or something.
The teeth. It's as you
A
get
jaw
older.
doesn't work like it did.
I had some dental work done a few months ago, and it took me about 3 weeks to get kind of past because you got new stuff in there, and your tongue's hitting things it's not used to, and so I understand it. But I think what happens is a lot of older people just end up getting fake teeth or something, and they're not like get that.
Got to do those mouth workouts, the mouth stretches.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing the mouth workouts.
You do a lot of that down in Piedmont Park, right?
My wife's leaving town. Hey, you got to keep your mouth in shape, right?
You do.
Absolutely. And there's always somebody who wants a little edge at, maybe getting a promotion or something like that. So it's nonstop.
The best radio hosts know how to work the mouth.
I think it's true. George, you know this. The best radio hosts know how to use their mouth.
That's right.
You're damn right we do.
All right. One more story before we take a traffic break.
All right. The Menendez brothers resentencing. The hearing has been postponed, guys.
What?
Yeah.
What is there more to know? This happened 50 years ago. Happened in the 90s, right?
The prosecutor has some trepidations. I think he thinks he's not going to like the result on this because he's more conservative than the previous DA. And so it seems like he keeps on asking for continuances to find some nuances that might help him. But
does it look like they're going to get let go?
Well, let's put it this way. It circles back to that fundamental legal concept of, whether certain evidence comes in at trial about the abuse. If you may recall, just to recap, the first trial was a hung jury because the evidence of parental abuse and sexual abuse was allowed into evidence. The second trial, it was suppressed. They couldn't mention it, and therefore it precipitated the conviction. And now they're bringing that back up again.
It's like the Cosby thing.
Either asking for a new trial or just a resentencing. They're hoping the resentencing cures everything and they get credit for time served. You've done 30 years, you can come out now.
It's kind of like the Cosby thing. A lot of times people don't understand that when courts rule, they're not really ruling on the thing that you're thinking about. They didn't rule on whether Cosby actually did these things with all these women. What they were ruling on is the trial that you found him guilty in was not properly conducted.
Right.
And so there are a lot of Supreme Court too. A lot of times, like when you hear about the baker and those kind of things with the
cake,
wouldn't do the gay wedding and stuff. People assume when they hear the ruling that they're saying, oh, they should have let. He should have made the cake for them. But usually they're not. What they're saying is that at the lower court level, it wasn't done properly. We had sent it back down. And it becomes like a technicality. So if they're let free, the judges aren't saying we don't think. They're not saying we think they're not guilty. They're just saying you didn't do it properly. They've been in there for 40 years or whatever, and that's their sentence.
Yeah, but when people say, Eric, a technicality or they got off in a loophole, the loophole or the technicality actually is the law.
That's right. Yes, it's not really a technicality or loophole, and it keeps the system in check, which is it doesn't matter how obvious somebody is guilty, you still have to prove it. I think a lot of people in this country don't realize that when you are charged by the state of something, there's no onus on you to prove your innocence. It's 100% on the state to prove that you're guilty. And when you walk free, the jury has not pronounced you innocent. They've pronounced you not guilty, meaning we didn't see enough evidence to find guilt.
Or not proven.
I also feel like that Netflix movie that came out last year really pushed this case in that direction.
Yeah, that's sad too. That's
because
sad
people
too.
see that, much like Britney Spears. Britney Spears got pushed in that way. I think the Menendez brothers are getting pushed this way.
And the whole Britney Spears thing worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Williams says there's a big jam on 85 out of Fairburn.
Yeah, Eric, it's all due to this travel advisory. Car ran off the roadway, ended up catching fire. Now they've gotten a few left lanes open. 2 right lanes are blocked. It had been shut down earlier. 285 northbound before 285 exit 68. That is seeing the heavy delays back to Highway 74, Sonoya Road. That's about 7 miles of delays there. So jump over and use Highway 29 up through Fairburn and Union City. Elsewhere, 285 eastbound, the outer loop also on the south side right by the airport at Riverdale Road. Earlier crash there has since cleared. And if you're traveling 285 southbound the inner loop in DeKalb, you're on and off the brakes, leaving I-85 Spaghetti Junction, but it improves the closer you get down into Clarkston. We found a new crash on I-20 in DeKalb County. Sydney Darden.
Yeah, authorities just arrived on scene. It's I-20 eastbound right near exit 68 to Wesley Chapel Road. It's affecting just the right lane, but possibly more as they work to hopefully get it off to the shoulder. In the meantime, you are stop and go on your way to Stonecrest. And over on the west side, still keep in mind that police activity is still shutting down Fulton Industrial Boulevard between MLK Jr. Drive and I-20, so you can just use Discovery Boulevard as an alternate instead. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious?
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is Monday morning at 8.
The WSB 5K Day Bonus Blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Storm season is bearing down on us, and that means power outage season is here too. Dave Baker here for Brightbox Electrical. Being stuck in a dark, hot home as storms start to fire up is no fun. That's why my friends at Brightbox Electrical, a Cool-Ray company, are now offering $500 off a Generac home standby generator, and if you purchase now, you'll receive a 2-year maintenance and monitoring plan for free. So don't be left in the dark or the heat. Visit brightboxelectrical.com to schedule your appointment.
Stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Noonan on Summerlin Boulevard next to Kroger, now through April 29th for the grand opening sale. You'll get 2 times O Rewards points on select purchases, including 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil to get to your next reward twice as fast. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your new O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Jason Hansen, a former CIA officer. In these uncertain times, with rising geopolitical tensions and skyrocketing inflation, protecting your financial future is crucial. That's why I trust Advantage Gold for all my precious metal investments. They're the only company I buy from, period. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide. See exactly how gold can safeguard your wealth. Again, call 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Georgia Power is proud to support the hard-working line workers who keep the power flowing and our communities going. This is Scott Slade. During Line Workers Appreciation Month this April, it's a good time to remember that line crews are working every day to maintain and upgrade the power grid and are ready at a moment's notice to help restore power in harsh weather conditions. It's a rewarding career. And Georgia Power is looking to develop and hire more line workers, and you can get paid while you train. Visit georgiapower.com/thankalineworker and learn more about the people behind the power.
All right, George Stein, before we get to our final legal story, why don't you tell people how they can get more George Stein if that's what they need?
Well, thanks, Eric. Well, in your
You're
time
welcome.
of need, if you want a quality lawyer, remember this. We've mastered the art of 2 things. Been in a motorcycle accident? We specialize in motorcycle accidents. If somebody calls you to lay your bike down, go to steelhorselaw.com. And, of course, if you've been arrested for a DUI, you're going to want to go to georgestein.com.
Well, thank you, George. And do we have one more story for George, or
we sure do?
We're just going to kick him out?
No,
like he's an aggressive person at a Marjorie Taylor Greene rally.
I'll show myself. Don't tase me, bro.
You want him out, Marjorie, or I can,
I want him out just like all the people I don't like. And fill in the blank, whoever you don't like. I don't like them either.
I'll get more pushback now. How dare you make fun of my favorite human?
She's awesome.
She's never wrong. All right, what do you got for George?
I've never heard of this gas station before. It's called Come and Go. And
Oh my God! And it's spelled with a K.
It is.
I used to, we had a Stop and Go.
Yeah.
And I would do a little part-time work there when I was 13, 14 years old. But what is this with the K?
I know. It's
a little joke. It's a little winky wink.
It seems like it.
Well,
All right.
a Missouri man who fled the scene after crashing his truck into a Come and Go's front windows claimed that his Crocs got caught in the gas pedal, causing him to accelerate into the business.
All
So
right.
they're blaming this crash into the building on his Crocs.
George?
Yes, it's called the Crocs defense. or the defense is full of croc. You know?
When I was 16, I was in traffic court in Baton Rouge, and there was a case before me, and back then, so this is probably 1979 or something, the guys were wearing shoes with these, there were sneakers that had a large platform that was almost like, they were very thick. They were really cool for like one summer. And the kid that was his defense, that his shoe got caught and he couldn't remove it. And the judge kind of agreed with him. He did say this will have no effect on the criminal or other part of the case, but he did agree with him that was a possibility. The platforms on these sneaks that were popular for one summer were probably like 1.5 inches, 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And so he won that in front of me. I don't know if this would have any chance.
Well, this one would have a de minimis chance of working because there's a simple fact that most people don't know about is after he did crash, he pulled away and left the scene of the accident.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, he did. He with a K. K-A-M-E. He came and went. All right, George Stein, good to see you. Have a great Easter weekend.
Thank you.
Alex Williams has better news on I-20 in DeKalb.
That we do, Eric. We had a crash in the left lane, 20 eastbound Wesley Chapel, exit 68. Police were quick to arrive, escorted that one to the right shoulder. Still a little sluggish head through the work zone as you make your way out to Panola Road, exit 71. On the West Freeway, I-20 westbound, tapping the brakes between 285 and Fulton Industrial Boulevard. And don't forget that shooting investigation that's been there all afternoon still shuts down Fulton Industrial Boulevard between I-20 and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. We've been following a big jam on the south side, Sydney Darden.
Oh, yes, I-85 southbound, right near Claremont. It's been blocking several lanes, not near Claremont, near Flat Shoals. It's been blocking several lanes. Authorities working to clear that car fire all afternoon. The good news is some lanes have opened up. The bad news is you're still slow through Union City. Use Highway 29 instead. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Now open at 54 Bullsboro Drive. Home Outlet Noonan. Break up with your big box store and discover a better way to tackle home improvement. Employee-owned Home Outlet delivers the guaranteed lowest prices on a wide selection of quality in-stock kitchens, baths, floors, and more. Take advantage of our free services, including expert kitchen planning and accurate estimates for baths, floors, doors, and windows. Shop in-store or online at homeoutlet.com.
Home Outlet is your home store.
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us, and we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Scott Slade. Let's talk about how to improve your chances of living a longer, healthier life. For me, it's preventive medicine. My doctor saw one funky number in my lab work that eventually led to a diagnosis early enough so I still had options. You just got to have a medical professional looking at you every so often, especially when we're talking about heart disease, the nation's #1 killer. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation, like flying in an airplane. They can detect calcium levels in your arteries and most cancers at the earliest stage. And virtual imaging can scan your brain to see if you're in danger of a tumor, stroke, or even dementia. So don't put this off, especially with this offer for virtual imaging. For a limited time, they're offering you and your spouse a free heart scan. Yes, free with a few minimum requirements. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com for your free estimate, and for a limited time, buy 4 windows, get 4 free, plus no interest for 2 years.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top local story, a shootout with a jaywalker. One police officer is in critical condition, another injured. The South Fulton police chief says it's an example of how things can change in an instant.
City of South Fulton Police Lieutenant Charles Cook was passing by when a Fulton County police officer was stopping a jaywalker near a hotel at 4120 Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
He was able to get out of the vehicle, and that's when he actually drew fire. I did have a brief conversation with the Fulton County police officer who is here as well. He sustained minor injuries. He said that if Lieutenant Cook hadn't been there, he doesn't know if he would be alive right now.
South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says the suspect died on the scene and the circumstances are under investigation by the GBI. At Grady Hospital in Atlanta, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It's been a difficult week for the South Fulton Police Department. Governor Kemp is ordering flags at the state capitol and in Fulton County to fly at half-staff Monday in honor of a South Fulton officer killed in the line of duty. Lieutenant Helio Garcia was driving his department vehicle on Flat Shoals Road when another vehicle veered into his lane and struck him head-on earlier this week. He was one of the original officers with the South Fulton Police Department. 85 degrees in Atlanta, warm for Easter weekend. When do rain chances return? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. We are learning more today about the shooting on the campus of Florida State University. 2 campus dining employees are identified as the victims who died. Robert Morales and another man were killed when the gunman opened fire. The 20-year-old suspect, Phoenix Eichner, is facing first-degree murder charges.
At this point, there does not appear to be any connection at all between the shooter and any of the victims.
Police Chief Lawrence Revel says the suspect remains in the hospital with significant injuries. FSU student Reed Siebold had classes with the suspect.
Phoenix had a history of espousing alt-right and white supremacist rhetoric. I remember hearing somewhere that at some point he said that Rosa Parks was in the wrong.
Doctors say all 6 people injured in the shooting are expected to fully recover. A symbol of peace goes up tomorrow, 7 months after a shooting left 4 people dead at Appalachia High School.
There are more than 400,000 of these peace poles around the world, and North Cobb Rotary member Jeff Bass says all are different but have the same message, always in multiple languages.
So we did the 3 languages as Cherokee Indian, English, and Spanish, and then it says the Rotary clubs. And they all say, may peace prevail on earth.
Bass says they thought Appalachia was a perfect place for the marker. Following the ceremony, they will host a lunch for students, faculty, and first responders. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Gwinnett police are releasing age-progressed photos, hoping for new clues in the disappearance of a young girl. Marissa Velasco was kidnapped nearly 20 years ago.
She was 15 months old in 2005 when her biological mother kidnapped her. She was on court-approved, unsupervised visit.
We have posted the photos of Marissa at WSBRadio.com. Corporal Ryan Winderweedle says anyone with information should contact Gwinnett Police. An investigation underway after a deadly boat crash on Lake Lanier. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources says it happened this week near Three Sisters Island in Forsyth County. 1 person was killed. It is the first boating fatality on Lake Lanier this year. Once the investigation is complete, game wardens will decide if any charges will be filed. It's one of Metro Atlanta's biggest Easter traditions.
It's a tradition that started back in 1944 and continues every Easter morning at sunrise, with thousands in attendance at Stone Mountain Park.
About half of the people walk up the mountain early that morning, even though it's dark when they walk up. Others take the cable car up for the service.
Brian Wright is one of the lead pastors who will preside over the Stone Mountain sunrise service along with Crawford Loritz. Wright says about 3,000 people attended last year. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
It is now 6:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic starts with Alex Williams.
Still watching the big jam on the south side. Travel advisory, crash cleanup, 85 northbound before 285 exit 68. Multiple right lanes are blocked there. Heavy delays all the way back to Highway 74, Sonoya Road, Fairburn Industrial Boulevard. That's exit number 61. Use Highway 29 as an alternate. If you're traveling 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side, you're seeing some delays from South Cobb Drive down to I-20. Don't forget, shooting investigation still shutting down Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Between I-20 and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, use Bolton Road, Fairburn Road, Discovery Boulevard, some alternates to get you around that. How's the commute on I-85 into Gwinnett County, City Darden?
It's really stop and go. Just checking on something new. 85 southbound, right near exit 105 to Pleasant Hill. Something slowing you down all the way back to Highway 316 there. Coming off Spaghetti Junction, though, you're only stop and go coming off of getting onto I-85 northbound past exit 99 at Jimmy Carter Boulevard. It does seem to clear up by the time you get towards Indian Trail and Beaver Ruin. From the Cool Ray Carey Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies this evening, sunset around 8 o'clock. Temperatures still in the upper 70s to low 80s, but cooling into the low 60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, high 86. Easter Sunday, sunrise around 7 a.m. Temperatures will be in the low 60s at that time, then heating up to a high of 87 through the afternoon. Clouds return on Monday with an isolated rain shower, high 85. Tuesday, scattered rain showers, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
81 in Brazelton, 82 in Sandy Springs, and 84 in McDonough. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
All right. 4 fingers high. Caiaccio, 4 fingers high. Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution. You ever heard of this place?
No. Place?
Yeah, that's a place.
It is?
Yeah, what do you think, they work remotely? They probably do. Most of them. There's a building, though. I know that.
Yeah, they have a new facility in Midtown now.
Oh, really?
It's not far from us.
Swank. Okay, very nice. Are we getting a new facility anytime soon? No, we're not together. We're not actually the same thing anymore as we used to be. We're in separate companies.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they say Georgia is one of the top states for scams. And it also says, here are 5 to look out for. And I'm not going to tell you what the 5 are. I'm going to tell you one thing. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Keep on walking. Stop wanting something so much that you're willing to take a leap of faith if you think that maybe you might get it. Now, I know that not all scams are like that, but before you spend money on things, check them out. And I have this kind of thing. It's like scammers, I can't stand them. But I'm always like, shouldn't you have been a little bit smarter? Couldn't you have been a little bit smarter?
Oh, the best ones are those Peach Pass ones.
Yeah, you mean I haven't paid my tolls? I got to go do that.
Yeah, that never occurred to me to respond to that.
Well, the numbers are ridiculous.
And then I went to Alex Williams. He's like, yeah, it's a scam. Don't worry about it. Like they're going to text you.
You better pay or else.
Oh, you better get right here. Go here and then give us all of your information or else you'll be in trouble. Speaking of trouble, let's do this.
He's a misanthrope. He has a dark heart. And he needs a good psychiatrist. New York. It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Friday edition. Got lost in the sauce.
I got lost. You were wandering. You're gonna phone in this last hour of the week.
No, the guy
Is that
up there
it?
drawing. I looked at him.
Oh, I can't. Oh, hey, first, let's bring in Greg Russ before we
Yes.
get into these side conversations. Let's do this professionally.
Hello.
Greg Russ, how are you?
Good. I was thinking about you talking about the scams reminded me of the time that I spent a couple days talking to a scammer, trying to teach them to be a better scammer. It was one of those. It's one of these ridiculous scams where I forget. I think they just reached out unsolicited, but it was, hey, this person won the lottery and they want to share their winnings with you.
Oh, wow. Your lucky day.
Oh, nice.
And then somehow that leads to you can get the winnings, but you got to go buy gift cards.
Yeah.
And you need to send them to me.
Always
And-
gift cards.
Well, because they're untraceable, right?
Well, I
And so
understand
I-
why. It's just funny. It's like
I-
so strange.
That's how people pay for prostitutes now. Gift cards.
I started criticizing the leaps in logic.
Really? Kroger? Again, it was just hanging out there.
I mean, I read a lot.
Okay.
This doesn't have to be my personal
That's how
experience.
some people I have heard.
Hey, some people do like the gift cards. They prefer. That's a good gift all around. You don't have to give the cash.
If I
just
were-
give them a $100 gift card, it's good as you want
quick
it
trip.
as cash.
If I were a streetwalker, and I'm not saying I am, but if I were a streetwalker, isn't that better to have something that's completely non-traceable rather than somebody, I guess money.
I take cash and Michael's gift cards. I
I do a lot of crafting.
I've got $100 to
I
Shoney's.
got my
You want that?
grandkids on the weekend.
Yeah,
Shoney's is
Shoney's?
closed, so no thank you.
I'm sorry, Greg. I interrupted what you were saying
No, it's all right.
with my ridiculous sense of humor,
That's
which
all
is
right.
getting me in trouble lately, for heaven's sakes. Hey,
I just challenged the person. I critiqued the leaps in logic that were part of the scam, and I said, "Look, if you're going to be a scammer, don't you want to be the best scammer there is? Don't you take any pride in your work?"
And did they just go away then, or did
he was
go back and
interacting
forth
with me, but he would not drop. He would not admit it was a scam. He would not drop the act. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but this went on for over the course of 2 days.
But if it
I'm not
wasn't,
going to report you. You can look. Let's talk honestly here. Let's just make you a better scammer. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. It's not a scam.
of course, the fact that he's still engaging about it means it's a scam, because if they really wanted to give you a portion of their lottery winnings, they would just go, well, you're an idiot. I'll go find somebody else. The fact that they would even stick around means that it's a scam. Now, before we get into any stories from Studio B1, you have to really be following this thing about this planet 125 light years away, where they think that they've got the best possible potential indication of life on another planet. Have you seen this story? Because I'd be surprised.
I have read about this.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
It seems valid. It seems legit.
I agree, but until we can prove that life is there, people aren't going to care.
K218b is the name of the planet.
Well, listen, you're never really going to be able to prove that people are that. I mean, because life just means algae. Life means
bacteria,
anything.
Or an eel from Europa. That's what we need to go do, is bring back an eel.
Oh, from Europa,
Flip them
and then
up.
kill
Yes.
it and eat it. Oh, and then everybody's like,
delicacy.
then the real rich tech oligarchs, they'll only have. Oh, is this an eel from outer
Is it
space?
European eel?
Is this European?
Is this European
It's
eel?
only $1 million an ounce.
And then it's overfished.
Yes.
And then you get the protectionists who need to protect the wildlife in Europa.
That's right. Well, it's important. Does the universe really need more of us out there? Look at how we're doing with this one. This is like a starter project, the Earth. Well, let's look how we're doing here. Look through history.
You don't think we're the shiny beacon on the hill? Other planets are like, wow.
No.
We should be like Earth.
House on a hill.
What is there, like more war on their planet? More torture, violence, meanness?
They're all peaceful. You know, when they come here
Yeah.
in the movies,
Yeah.
they're smarter than us, peaceful.
They see us at clubs.
I
though?
love the people who think that they're going to come just because, all right, you're getting a little too out of control with your nuclear weapons. What the hell do they care? We could blow the whole planet to pieces. It wouldn't affect anything but our own solar system.
Well, the idea is if you're that technologically evolved, you're also ethically evolved. You have a higher ability to think and say it's worth our time to go protect other species in the universe, especially that dump Earth. I always think, I know you can't see it, like there's a lot of space between all the satellites that are up there, but there's so much space junk. And in my mind, I like the idea of the aliens pulling up and they just see that trash floating around the planet. Like, oh my
What
God.
is this? Yeah, it is funny because when you watch it, when you see like a graphic of all of the satellites and spent rockets and stuff that's out there hanging out, orbiting the Earth, it makes it look like, how could you possibly get any rocket up there without hitting something? Because the graphic is kind of silly. They got this little round Earth, and then you're covering it. That's not what it's like out there. It's like people understand that it's bigger than the ocean, right? Like yes, you can have a lot of stuff and still be out there and not touch any of it pretty easily. That's how much vastness there is. But I guess more clutter. I mean, how many times has the International Space Station had to go into kind of emergency mode? Because like if something just like a particle hits that
Grain
thing,
of sand.
yeah. So it's not happened to them. They've not been taken out. But are they lower?
I'm sure that they have to adjust.
Are they lower? They can't be in the same. They're probably lower. They're only like 65, 70 miles up, I think. Or we've done this before. No more than 200 miles up.
It's closer than Savannah, is what we determined.
No,
not Macon.
We thought that, but is that true? Somebody look it up again.
It's 254 miles up.
So George is doing real work. Can somebody find out, are the satellites higher than that so there wouldn't be a danger? But they do still fall, though. They fall to Earth eventually. So
they burn up.
They control the fall, though,
yeah,
with most of the stuff. So I don't know. I can't solve these problems. Too many problems on this planet. That's why we shouldn't be leaving it and taking them somewhere else.
How low are the Elon Musk Starlink? Because you can see those when they go over. They're all in a line.
Yeah, well, that's geosynchronous orbit. So
satellites, there's a huge range, 190 miles to 22,000 miles.
Oh,
really? So there are some that are in the International Space Station kind of area. You'd think that they'd. And by the way, there's two up there. You know,
the Chinese have one.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that strange? That our media, like you would never, if you don't dig and
Theirs
look.
Is nicer.
Well, it's newer, but they're working on some weird stuff up there that is all so that we can do wonderful. It's all going to be weapons.
Sure.
It's all going to end up being weapons, and we're going to do the same thing. But they've got the way they put that space station together is pretty amazing, and some of the stuff they're doing up there is pretty amazing as well. But I just think it's interesting that our media acts like there's only one space station. Why? Out of patriotism? Like, isn't their job to let us know what's going on? Wouldn't it be interesting to know the difference between theirs and ours?
I'm seeing now that
ours is nice. Shared resources, cooperation amongst countries.
China,
they're 10 miles above ours.
China's doing stuff with other countries as well.
They look down at our.
Do they allow them on their space station?
Well, listen, whatever countries really do, and then their rhetoric. But their rhetoric is that the other nations are welcome, probably so they can steal their tech. I don't know. But the rhetoric is that. But the point I'm making is we have 24-hour news. We have websites, everything, all this news all the time. And you have to tell people that there's two space stations. Shouldn't that just be... Shouldn't anybody who's mildly interested in current events know that? And what's the reason? Is it because it's considered anti-patriotic to let people know that there's another space station? And the one they're building is up there for the next 15 years. This one's about to end, and I'm sure we have a next project that
we're
going to
go 10 miles up above theirs.
It's this real space race.
Know.
I just think is it of omission? On purpose? It's just we have so much information in our heads today, but I guarantee you most Americans think there's one space station up there. And that just seems silly to me with all of the news outlets all the time. Alex Williams is checking the ride through downtown.
We've definitely seen it worse this time of day, but it isn't awful. We're seeing some brake lights. 85 southbound starting right around Georgia 400. Picks up once again right around 17th Street. Then you stay on and off the brakes down to I-20. Not a bumper-to-bumper to ride right now. What is bumper-to-bumper is the northbound commute, 75-85 northbound leaving I-20, but braking free once you get up toward Peachtree, Pine Street, and the Varsity. Been watching a big jam on I-85 south of the city, Sydney Darden.
And it's still a mess. A car fire. It's been there for the last hour, maybe more. 85 northbound as you approach exit 68 to get onto 285. Still blocking at least one right lane, causing you delays all the way back through Union City and Fairburn. Hop on Highway 29 instead. This report sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $112 million. Now with bigger jackpots, better odds, and a built-in multiplier. Drawings every Tuesday and Friday. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews from the Von Hessler Doctrine, inviting you to join me for the Tim Andrews Popcast, my weekly pop culture and entertainment show. I have two guests this week. First, the legendary entertainer and singer Pat Boone, and also Christopher Farrar, co-star of the Amazon Prime film G20. Check it out. That's the Tim Andrews Popcast, tomorrow night at 7 on 95.5 WSB.
Hey, this is Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. The plastic surgeons and estheticians at Marietta Plastic Surgery have been taking care of my needs for years. Doctors West, McNeil, Hanna, and Biswas have served Atlanta for over 25 years, providing both surgical and non-surgical treatments. They're recognized for their commitment to patient care and satisfaction, and were featured in the Atlantan magazine list of top doctors. The temperature's starting to rise and summer's just around the corner. Are you ready for the pool, lake, or beach? Whether you're considering enhancements for your face, body, or breast, their experts are here to guide you. Marietta Plastic Surgery offers a range of med spa treatments which provide youthful, glowing skin, including Botox and fillers, microneedling, Diamond Glow, hydrofacials, and Morpheus 8. Contact them today for a consultation. Visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
You know, we should be able. The reason that they should report on the fact that there's a second space station from China up there is because, you know, all these countries are us, everybody else who's dealing with space is trying to, you know, lord it over the entire Earth, and people have a right to know what's going on. They are doing 3D printing in space. They're trying to figure out a way, and they're doing experiments now in low gravity to do 3D printing with an eye on being able to build buildings and spaceships and things like that in space, as opposed to here. They're a long way from it. And it would be interesting to know, well, are we doing that same technology? Also, they have, you know how we have that arm that Canada, I guess, does it still say Canada on the side of that?
No.
Oh, that was a space shuttle. I'm thinking of the space shuttle. I had
Yeah,
that, had that arm. But it's like that with their space station, except the astronaut stands on a platform like a cherry picker. And then the arm takes the astronaut out and puts it where he needs to be, or she, to
Thank you.
You're welcome, to do the repair. Also, part of this space station that they have kind of puts itself together in a weird way, and so these things are interesting, and I think American people should know, well, is ours going to be like that, the next one, or do we want to, or is it worth it? Well, we got Elon. I think Elon's aware of all this stuff, right?
Sure, but in general, I think it's embarrassing. And if you get into Elon, then you're getting into private, and that is the way it's trending. But
That's
China's
true.
at a point where their infrastructure and the things they're building, not just in space, they're technologically advanced. They take pride in it. And you come over here, and it's like our bridges are falling apart.
That's
we
true.
Don't care.
No, there is truth to that. There's and that's the kind of stuff that Trump did run on. Although I haven't heard a lot about, we need we used to have big, beautiful bridges. Whatever happened? I haven't heard a lot of that since he's been president.
Yeah, infrastructure's not been a big.
We got to
focus.
fire people before we can start hiring people.
Okay, all right, makes sense to me. You got any Storios from Studio? You got any Oreos? I'm hungry. You got any Oreos from Studio B1?
I've got plenty of Storios. Speaking of Musk, some people hacked the crosswalk signals in Seattle, and the crosswalks these days speak. So if you press the button, it'll say something like "wait" or "cross now."
That's for blind. That's for blind people, right?
Yes,
I believe,
and in
yes.
general, just people probably
Yeah.
not paying attention, staring at their phones. Then it starts to tell them, "Hey, you can go now."
Yeah.
But they hacked them, and they changed the voices to Bezos and Musk.
And do we have audio?
And
of this?
Zuckerberg as well, too. Here's Zuckerberg.
Wait. Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck.
it's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway, see ya.
And then you're the boop, boop,
That
boop.
is fantastic.
That is great.
That's fantastic. Do we know who's behind it yet? Or Greg, has anybody been identified? Is there a comedy sketch group that has a special on Netflix next month that's using this?
Boys.
Something like that?
No. It's like a Banksy. What's his name?
Oh, is it a Banksy thing? Nobody knows who they are?
I can never remember his name. No, I just can't ever remember what comes first. Is it the N, or the K, the S?
It's the
What is it?
It's the keyboard player for Massive Attack. Look him up. What's his name?
Banksy.
What's his name? Who's the keyboard player for Massive Attack? I think it's the keyboard player. Some people have put this together over the years. They're touring and where they are and when this stuff happens, and there is some kind of connection.
Robert Del Naja.
Now I might have gotten it wrong. Maybe it's the bassist. I don't know. But I think it was the keyboardist.
There's two keyboardists.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Grant
See?
Daddy
It is a
G.
collective.
Marshall.
What?
Grant Daddy G. Marshall.
It's somebody from the band Massive Attack. That's my. I've seen a lot of different theories, and that's the one I'm going with. It just makes a lot of sense. Their touring schedule is quite often very near where these sort of things happen.
The one that's suspected to be Banksy is the one that Tim said, Robert Del Naja.
There you go.
Okay, so just one person. It's not the whole band possibly doing this as a collective.
Yeah, and maybe it's not him, but that's just the best theory that I've heard so far. And
Baskini. I really, for whatever reason, it never sticks in my brain. I can't get the order of letters down.
It's so clever that nobody really ever judges the art itself.
Yeah, it's like you're like,
the whole thing is it's just so clever, and the way that he's turning the tables, or he or she or whatever is turning the tables on this highfalutin art
be Marjorie
industry.
Taylor Greene. You don't know.
It could be.
Yeah.
She could do it. Could be doing a lot
I'll
of
never tell.
I think in that case she would.
She would tell. Get out.
She'd never do anything without getting credit for it.
All right, that's a good point. All right, are we going to give some stuff away here?
Yeah, we waited long enough, I'd say. Let's give it
Mr.
away.
Bojangles. At one time, Mr. Bojangles, his dog up and died. Can you think of anything worse? But it's a great song, and it's sung
After
by
20 years, he still grieves. I think he'd get over it.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear the
It's a good
story
dog.
again, great song, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. 2 tickets to see Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on Thursday, August 28th at the Atlanta Symphony Hall. Be caller number 10 to 404-872-0750. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. Alex Williams says it's a bumper-to-bumper on 85 on the south side.
Yeah, all due to that crash cleanup still in the right lane, 85 northbound before 285 exit 68. You are very slow back to Highway 74 Sonoya Road. Continue to use Highway 29 as your alternate. How's the ride on I-20, Sydney Darden?
Well, it's a little stop and go over on the east side, I-20 eastbound near exit 71 to Panola Road. That's where you're going to see the majority of your delays as you make your way towards Stonecrest. And over on the west side, not too much stopping you. Only a little bit of stop and go as you're on exit 44 to Thornton Road headed towards Douglasville. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Coming up from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, a Delta classical concert featuring an all-Italian program of Respighi, Paganini, and Bottesini. Explore Italia in Respighi's Pines of Rome and Fountains of Rome. And experience Italian sensation Giuseppe Gibbone perform Paganini's Violin Concerto No. 1. The program fans the flames with a concert opener by Bottesini, May 1st and 3rd at Symphony Hall. Details at aso.org.
It's Diamond Month at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and that means this month, buying diamonds comes with even more diamonds. All through the month of April, when you spend $9.95 or more, you'll receive a pair of gorgeous hand-matched diamond studs absolutely free. Shopping for your wife? Tuck those studs away for your anniversary. Upgrading your ring? Surprise your daughter with her first pair of diamonds. No matter how you spin it, there's no better deal in jewelry than Diamond Month at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. All April long in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, a simple case of jaywalking leads to a police shootout on Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Lieutenant Charles Cook with South Fulton Police is now in critical condition. A Fulton County officer has minor injuries and the suspect is dead. South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows says the department is still reeling from the death of Lieutenant Elio Garcia, who was killed in the line of duty earlier this week.
It's been a rough week. As you all know, we lost Lieutenant Garcia earlier this week, and now with Lieutenant Cook, we haven't been short on support from everyone throughout the region.
Police say the suspect opened fire after he was spotted jaywalking. The GBI is now investigating. 84 degrees in Atlanta, dry and warm for Easter weekend. What day next week could see rain? Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. 2 campus dining employees are identified today as victims of the Florida State University shooting. Robert Morales and T. Rose Shaba were killed when the gunman opened fire. There's also new information from police in Tallahassee and doctors who are treating the injured.
The alleged 20-year-old gunman, Phoenix Eichner, remains in the hospital with significant injuries. But Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revel says once he's released,
he'll be taken to a local detention facility where he will face the charges up to and including first-degree murder.
As for a motive for the shooting that killed 2,
at this point, there does not appear to be any connection at all between the shooter and any of the victims.
5 others were injured, and emergency surgeon Brett Howard says,
we do feel that all will make a full recovery.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
An 8-foot peace pole goes up tomorrow at Appalachia High School just 7 months after 4 people were killed in a shooting there. It's in 3 languages.
So we did the 3 languages as Cherokee Indian, English, and Spanish, and then it says the Rotary clubs. And they all say, may peace prevail on earth.
North Cobb Rotary member Jeff Bass says Appalachia High School is a perfect spot for the peace pole. New this half hour, 7 people accused of trafficking drugs in Dunwoody are sentenced to federal prison.
A drug trafficking operation led by Carla Lopez Delgado is part of Operation Take Back America and ends with her being sentenced this week to 19 years in prison. 6 others are also facing jail time and steep sentences as part of a nationwide sting that uncovered 4.5 kilos of fentanyl, 80 grams of methamphetamine, and almost 20 kilograms of cocaine in Lopez Delgado's Dunwoody apartment. Her 4-year-old daughter lived at the residence. All 7 were also convicted for possessing drugs with the intent to distribute where a minor resides. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
Progress is made in the past year to get more affordable housing in Atlanta.
Last year, Atlanta Housing President and CEO Terry Lee says they created more than 1,700 new affordable
affordable housing units and preserved 1,400 others. Lee says they want to provide security to the people they help.
We want to create a continuum where we're able to assist our families, but also help to build them and graduate them so that they can be able to be a little bit more self-sufficient.
Lee says they will continue to focus on financial education and down payment assistance and programs directed at seniors and young people. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Quite a day for fourth grade STEAM students at Warren T. Jackson Elementary School in Atlanta.
Students are releasing hundreds of trout into the Chattahoochee River. They grew about 2,000 eggs in an on-campus trough, preparing them for release.
We feed and grow these fish till about 8 weeks old, and then we deliver them to be released into the Chattahoochee.
Sean Grismore is the school's STEAM coordinator. They also change out the water, maintain proper pH levels. They even came up with a screen system to prevent birds from eating the eggs. The school is only the second one in the country to achieve a dual STEM and International Baccalaureate certification. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It is now 6:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Travel advisory continues heading up to the airport out of Fairburn and Union City. Crash in two right lanes, 85 north before 285 exit 68. You're stacked up from Highway 74, Sonoya Road, exit 61. Highway 29 is a good alternate to bypass those delays. If you're traveling 75 northbound up into Marietta, Kennesaw, or Ackworth, it's cleaned up nicely, leaving 285 all the way up to Highway 92. 400 northbound, nothing to slow you down from Sandy Springs into Roswell and Alpharetta. How's the ride on I-85 toward Gwinnett County, Cindy Darden?
Also looking a lot better. Only a little stop and go at I-85 southbound, coming off Highway 316 or around exit 105 to Pleasant Hill. Now coming off Spaghetti Junction onto I-85 northbound, you're only slow around exit 99 to Jimmy Carter Boulevard. It breaks apart by the time you get past the Indian Trail exit there, exit 101. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies this evening, sunset around 8 o'clock. Temperatures still in the upper 70s to low 80s, but cooling into the low 60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, high 86. Easter Sunday, sunrise around 7 a.m. Temperatures will be in the low 60s at that time, then heating up to a high of 87 through the afternoon. Clouds return on Monday with an isolated rain shower, high 85. Tuesday, scattered rain showers, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
Right now, it's 85 in Midtown Atlanta, 80 in Dunwoody, 83 in Noonan. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Tomorrow on the Nightcap with Jared Yamamoto. You know I'm typically the biggest cheerleader for Gen Z and my fellow millennials. But this week, it's not the case. Gen Z is claiming that being frugal is cool now. AKA, they can't afford things. This is not a good economic indicator, and I plan to explain why and cover the news of the night tomorrow night from 11 to midnight on my Nightcap. Brought to you by Guardian Home Experts, Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers, but in my case, they brought unwanted pests. Just last week, I noticed the mosquitoes were taking over my backyard and the carpenter bees swarming my outdoor deck. I knew I needed help, so I called Arrow Exterminators. Ken, my Arrow team member, didn't just provide a solution. He gave me peace of mind with their Arrow Exterminators friendly and effective treatments. Arrow Exterminators has been a family-owned business for over 61 years, so they really treat you like part of the family. They even offer a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Plus, you can get a free home or business pest inspection to stay ahead of any pest problems. Thanks to Ken and Arrow Exterminators, my family can enjoy our backyard again. So don't wait for the pests to settle in. Take back your yard this spring. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. And when you do, be sure to tell them Belinda sent ya.
Remember that first paycheck when you started working all those years ago? You looked at the net amount and thought, whoa, what happened here? Ah, the joy of taxes. It could be this way with your retirement accounts. You know how much you've saved, but if you haven't planned for Uncle Sam, you could come up short in retirement. With tax laws constantly changing, there's a lot you need to know to make sure you're not paying more than your fair share. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the Lloyd Advisory Group can help you create a plan that shows you how taxes could affect you now and in the future. Set up your tax strategy session with Mark and the team at the Lloyd Advisory Group now. Call 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Make sure you know how these changes could affect you so you can avoid some of those whoa moments in retirement. Call 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services offered through Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Congratulations to Kamisha Botts of Riverdale. We don't get many winners from Riverdale, do we?
No, we do not.
Well,
So
it's good to know. Good to know.
Clayco
have won 2 tickets to see Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on Thursday, August 28th at the Atlanta Symphony Hall. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. All right, Greg Russ. There's a rumor that you have a story or two left in your bin.
Who told you this?
Jared. No, come on, man. That's my You just outed. You outed. That's never going to work again.
Dang it.
I had such a great spy line, I call it. I had a line in to spy on Greg Russ and his stories. That's all. I'm only looking at your stories. You know, I'm a very moral man.
Well, I can tell you this.
Yes.
Wild salmon are swimming faster due to painkillers being dumped into rivers.
Sweet.
And you tell me that Big Pharma is only hurting us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What are they, like, coked out? Like, yeah, we're going. We're going. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm going to spawn so good.
Yeah, they just keep going. The pain that they feel, and they no longer feel it. And when they're swimming upstream, they don't stop.
Yeah. And when we get there, we're gonna do a lot of great things.
And they're also not depressed because there's lots of SSRIs in there.
RFKJR, you are correct. I guess you're saying that's one benefit.
Well, yeah, probably the only one.
Okay.
I wonder then if the salmon are eating the painkillers, then the bears would be getting it too, right? Because the bears eat the salmon, or does it get too processed?
Cocaine bear.
There you go. That's how it all happens. Is that movie? Did anybody watch that movie?
I saw it. I went to the theater and saw it.
You went to the theater and saw it.
It's ridiculous.
It
But
was
it's
fun.
Yeah.
But are any of these movies actually good? Like the Winnie the Pooh's a killer one?
I saw that too.
How was that?
I enjoyed it.
But it was a slasher thing, so like they really like.
Well, they're all real. The characters they're allowed to use are real. Winnie the Pooh
Right.
being one of them.
But I mean, is it like Friday the 13th gory?
Yeah, very gory. Worse than Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's the new one? Remember Popeye? Has that come out yet?
I haven't seen that
Popeye
one.
the Killer Man or whatever the hell they're calling it.
I will see it. I watch a lot of horror movies, but not as many as I'd like. And a lot of times they're just boring.
I don't like horror movies. I don't. Why do people like to watch other people get murdered?
'Cause I
don't.
hate people.
Like if you're watching a story like The Godfather and the gangsters, you get it. There's context. They do this. It's part of the story. But why do people enjoy just watching serial killers murder people? I don't get it.
Well, the subtle undertones of
is
I
that?
spit
Yes.
on your grave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I've never seen
You
Texas.
burn more calories when you watch a horror movie.
I've never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The first
I
one's
don't
great.
Want. I don't want to.
There was a point in time where, sure, you don't like the gore, you're not going to be into this, but some people could appreciate the practical effects, and if they went overboard with it, they still could say, hey, people had to put thought and time into that and design it. Now, when it's CGI, I just think it's pointless. Like you're not even
Oh, my
appreciating the art form of fake gore.
I watched before. It's interesting that did you say Frank Gore or fake Gore?
Fake gore.
Al Gore.
I was Al Gore.
I'm a serial killer.
Watch out.
Look out. The inconvenient truth is I'm going to kill you.
Is he public domain now? Can we use Al Gore as a
Probably
as one of these characters?
This is Popeye the Slayer, man. by the
Sweet.
way.
Is it out or because I remember we did a story about it a few weeks ago. It's interesting that you brought up CGI because I know you're a huge fan of Cats, and right before I came to work today, I watched about a 40-minute YouTube documentary on the movie Cats, and it made me think I have got to see this thing. It looks.
Which one did you watch?
I kind of
which thing did you watch?
I can't remember. It was literally I don't even know I got to the end because I had to come to work.
Because
So-
I've watched one too that I really like, and I wonder if it's the same one.
It was. I don't
Is it
know.
about
It's
the music and how they made the music?
No, it's about basically 10 reasons why it failed. And the guy does a really good job of like the first 20 minutes or so are just all backstory, the things that were going on. And then he hits the 10 reasons. And when you look at this thing, I kind of ignored it when it came out. It is unbelievable. Why wouldn't they just not release it? Well, I mean, this director who directed this thing had been to the Academy Awards, won the movie. He was the same guy who did The King's Speech. And then he did Les Miserables,
which was terrible.
Yeah, Tom Hooper.
Yeah, but I mean, it did well. He got everything. The 3 movies I think before Cats all had Oscar nominations of some kind, and won Best Movie. This guy has not been heard from again. I don't know if he's just embarrassed and he just doesn't want to be around. But why wouldn't they just take a look at that and go, let's just not put it out? People say that it is difficult to watch, that it's hard on the eyes.
My son is obsessed with one song from Cats. It's Mr. Mistopheles, and he'll watch it on YouTube.
Greg Russ, that'd be a good friend.
Yes.
Good friend.
Greg's trying to help me get some of the other songs out there. But I tried to play Mr. Mistopheles from the movie, and he freaks out. No, go to the other one.
It's not good.
But so my understanding is that the director, there was nothing he could do. He was just inside of it, and they just had to finish it. He knew it looked terrible. There was an idea they were going to do it as an animated project.
But why did they? I don't know why they just didn't do a practical shoot. Do sets, have cool set pieces, actual dancing. That's part of the problem is when the dancing is CGI, it's not real dancing. And then their feet are just slipping all over the floor because there's no physics to the movie.
And some of the CGI isn't even finished.
Well, that's the point. They were rushed. They were rushed.
What's her name's hands? Or you can see that it's a jacket.
And this was before this came out, before the AI art that we see. But what I was seeing today, it looks like the kind of AI art where like the hands will be a little bit wrong, and the same kind of garish colors. AI right now is just really full of garish colors. And
it's learning, Eric. It's learning.
I know. It's so is the director of this movie. He's learning to never show his face again anywhere. Yes,
He
George?
went back to commercials, but he did say recently, I'm certainly quite close on a couple things. I've been busy. I'm very happy to get back behind the camera.
Yes. You got to take like 3 years off after you put something like 5. It's been 5.
Yeah.
He had in that one he had James Corden, Taylor Swift. Who else was in that one? There's a lot.
Dame Judi Dench, Ian McKellen.
He had a huge cast.
He had the cast.
Yeah, he had
Jason Derulo.
But it's not his fault. I mean, he had the cast, but the decision to just have the faces of the people that you Jennifer Hudson was in there.
That's right. Wow, that's a huge cast.
Idris
really
Elba.
bad though.
Idris Elba, James
Idris
Corden.
My question is, why did they put it out? There was no way.
Maybe it was the sunk cost fallacy. It's like we've already made this much of it. We've got to deliver
Batgirl
something.
movie. Yeah, it was the Batgirl movie where they just buried it when Discovery bought.
I'm not saying bury it. How about give another 6 months to the CGI, to the effects? Make something. You know what I mean? Also, this critic said something. I've never seen Cats. I know that's the big difference between me and Greg. He's seen it like 30 times. I've never seen Cats. But this critic was saying was on the stage. You don't have to have a real story because it's a musical and it's about the choreography and nobody expects them to look like real cats or anything like that. But in a movie, they needed to find some kind of through line, like a story. And my understanding is the lead cat, the lady and she's never been heard from again. I can't remember her name.
The lead cat.
She's a dancer. She's like a ballet dancer.
Yeah, she apparently she just wanders through the movie not knowing where she is or what she's doing or why she's there.
Is it Rachel Zegler?
No, it wasn't Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler was like 14 years old when it came out. Alex Williams says there's better news on 85 in Union City.
That is right, Eric. That earlier crash totally cleared. 85 northbound between Flat Shoals Road exit 66 and I-285 exit 68. Delays starting to thin out as you leave Fairburn up into Union City, heading up to the world's busiest airport. If you're traveling on the West Freeway, I-20 eastbound, still seeing some brake lights from Thornton Road to 285. And the shooting investigation still has Fulton Industrial Boulevard shut down between Wendell Drive and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. So plan your alternates there. Checking the ride through downtown at City Darden.
And the ride through Midtown seems to be just a little bit better, actually, and a little bit of light brake tapping on and off until you get to I-20 traveling on the connector southbound. Northbound, a little bit heavier delays leaving University Avenue through the heart of downtown until you get to the top of the Grady Curve. Just a little bit of annoying traffic there. You know what else is annoying? Mosquitoes. They can be very dangerous as well. Let Active Pet Control help you with your yard and keep it mosquito-free year-round. For your $69 initial virtual mosquito control service. Visit ActivePestControl.com today from the Corey Carrier Traffic Center. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
Well, what a blessing that is. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
From 95.5 WSB begins Monday, April 21st.
On 95.5 WSB. Download the WSB radio app now.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid not just once, but twice. It's possible with Orchard. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket. That lets you snag your dream home now. While you're settling in, Orchard experts are hard at work preparing and marketing your old home, taking care of repairs, showings, even adding price-boosting upgrades. Why choose Orchard? Because when your home sells for more, like it does 9 times out of 10, you get that extra cash too. It's like getting paid twice. Orchard unlocks cash from your old home for your new one. That's payday number 1. You buy your new place, and Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. Boom! Payday number 2. Ready to make it happen? Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
When my grandfather, Jim Ellis, started our business in 1971, he knew it would be difficult to please every customer. However, that didn't stop him from trying. Hi, I'm Stacy Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. For over 50 years, we've built our reputation on honesty, effort, and doing what's best for our customers. That means transparent pricing and a commitment to making your car buying experience quick, easy, and convenient. We work hard to help you find the right car at the right price with a shopping experience designed around you, whether you shop in person or online at jimellis.com. Are we perfect? No. Sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we hope. Maybe there's a miscommunication or an unforeseen hiccup. We get it. When that happens, we don't make excuses, we work to make it right. That's why last year we earned nearly 14,000 positive reviews from customers who trust us to do the right thing. When you're ready for your next vehicle, trust the name that's been doing right by customers for more than 50 years. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
When you need quality professional tree work, choose Heath Tree Service. Hi, I'm Jimmy Heath. My father started Heath Tree Service over 60 years ago, and we're still family owned. Certified arborists and experts with trees. Find us at heathtreeservice.com.
At Superior Pro, we use the highest quality materials and the best techniques in windows, siding, painting, doors, and more. Visit superiorpro.com.
Superior Pro, the pros to know.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Hi, I'm Jason Hansen, a former CIA officer. In these uncertain times, with rising geopolitical tensions and skyrocketing inflation, protecting your financial future is crucial. That's why I trust Advantage Gold for all my precious metal investments. They're the only company I buy from, period. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide. See exactly how gold can safeguard your wealth. Again, call 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Greg Russ, I want to recommend to you, and also to the audience, by way of Greg Russ, that if you want to see an example, a dictionary definition example of passive aggression, you have to watch the Aaron Rodgers interview on Pat McAfee.
All right.
a couple days ago.
I tend to enjoy watching his interviews.
Oh my goodness gracious! I mean,
weirdo.
Anybody, I will say, any team that touches this guy. Now he might be the best quarterback of all time, but at this point, any team that touches him, and I'll be wrong, and he'll take Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl. Watch, but the way that
the Steelers win their 7th.
The way that I feel after watching, it's just more drama, and it's passive aggressive, and he's mad because the new coach just told him straight out when he got there, "You're not part of the future. Get out of here." And out of all of it, what I took away from all of this besides the fun of just watching Aaron Rodgers and his passive aggression, is as a Bills fan, they're in the same division. I went, uh-oh, the Jets might have a real coach. Remember all that crap that went on? The coach didn't know if he was and now the Jets have a coach where Aaron Rodgers walked in and he said, yeah, we don't need your services anymore. We'll be moving on. So that's the
no
real.
one wants him, right? Nobody.
Well, Pittsburgh is hanging around waiting for him.
The Giants told him, "Nah, we don't."
Giants don't. But Pittsburgh, he's got Pittsburgh on a leash. He was seen throwing with DK Metcalf, who is now a Steeler, and then he's like, "Why is everybody talking about can a man throw football
on a team that needs a quarterback?"
And he's just like, I'm not. Is it Cam? Oh, is it Cam Hayward on the Steelers, or is he New Orleans? He went from New Orleans to the Steelers.
I believe he's on the Steelers now.
A few weeks ago, he was just like, "Hey, do you want to play here or not?"
He had to come out and apologize for that. By the way.
Because he was forced to, because the Steelers want to play this game.
They're like,
I think they're stupid.
My quote was taken out of context.
I was not taken out of
no,
context.
It's ridiculous.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it. But that's a little tip for the Easter weekend. If you want to see, maybe you've heard this term, passive aggressive, and you don't necessarily know exactly what it means, watch that interview on Pat McAfee. I mean, nothing is his fault.
I have a feeling this J.J. McCarthy.
Never is.
But I never. And we talked about this earlier, and I feel it was right at the top of the show, so we can talk about it again. If you remember in the draft, he was supposed to go in the top 5. He dropped all the way down to 24?
I think it was 26.
26, and that's how Green Bay got him, because his skills coming out of college had him in the top 5, and then after he started having meetings with individual teams, he kept sliding and sliding and sliding.
This guy's a buzzkill.
Then in between, he was one of the greatest, maybe the greatest quarterback, and now that his skills are diminishing, it's the passive aggression that is the most entertaining part of it. But as a Bills fan, the
He
Jets
did
might
not
have
look like
ruined.
he wanted to be on the field at all last season.
No, he looked bored, angry.
But he also takes all the spotlight on himself, and the coach doesn't know who's in charge of this team. I guess that won't happen with Tomlin, but I just think any team, especially after this interview, just don't. He's 41. There's no
Retire.
need. Yeah, it's what he needs to do.
If J.J. McCarthy fails, if the experiment fails in the first 6 games in Minnesota, he will be a Viking.
I agree with that, and that maybe it's a smart move, but there's this weird drama. Why are you putting your arms?
Yeah, go Hawks. We're about to start up here in a little bit.
All right, go Hawks.
Play-in game.
Come on, Hawks, play in. We don't want to lose until the next round. All right, I'm just kidding.
Go Trey.
Hawks, go Hawks, go Trey. That means telling us 2 things. Shut the hell up. Get the hell out. You know us. We do what we're told. Always. We always do what we're told. We're good people like that. Shelley Winter has a great show coming up for you. We'll be back on Monday at 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us. Happy Easter. Until then, continue on the journey. Do not piss off the genie.
656 Cool Ray Carrier, WSB 24-hour traffic center. Getting slow, 285 westbound, the outer loop leaving Georgia 400 into that Sunshine, passing Roswell Road, heading over to Truist Park. In downtown, still seeing a few brake lights, but improving as well. 75, 85 north and south between 17th Street and I-20. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Money Update. From WSB consumer expert Clark Howard. Sponsored by Reliable Heating and Air.
The number of job scams popping up is booming. The job scams usually come in 2 flavors. One is where the con is just trying to get your personal information, your social security number, other key data, or maybe even getting you to reveal your checking account. The other scam is where they get money from you, supposedly for some opportunity that's fake.
You fell in love with her because she's unlike any other woman in the world, so why settle for an ordinary engagement ring you can find almost anywhere? Well, I know a place where you can design your own custom engagement ring. Terra Fine Jewelry Company. At Terra, the styles and designs are endless, and their expert jewelers make it easy to bring your personally designed engagement ring to life. Your bride-to-be deserves more than a cookie-cutter engagement ring, so explore the vast options of custom design rings at Terra Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort, Georgia. Terra Fine Jewelry Company.
O'Reilly. Stop by the new O'Reilly Auto Parts in Newnan on Summerlin Boulevard next to Kroger now through April 29th for the grand opening sale. Get 2 times O-Rewards points on all Armor All wipes. Plus receive 2 times points on Valvoline Flex-Fill Gear Oil, which means you can reach your next $5 reward twice as fast.